Hello? Hello? Who's here? When did you get here? Oh gosh. Oh, I'm so unprepared. I didn't know I was having company over. Welcome, dudes. Welcome, dudes. This will not be a family-friendly stream. We are reading Am I the Assholes today. I also kind of want to, in the spirit of pride, maybe I was thinking of doing a stream, or even just a little bit today, reading Are the Straights Okay? Because the answer is always no. And I'm just, maybe not for pride. Honestly, we're always checking in to see if they're okay, and it's always no. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, dudes. Welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for joining. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We literally just got started. I literally just went live 2 minutes ago. So you're here just in time for reading lots of stuff on Reddit. We might explore a few different threads. We're definitely reading Am I the Asshole Relationship Edition. The moral of the story always for the relationship Am I the Assholes is you both need therapy. Separately and together. You need both. You need the double whammy. Welcome, welcome. Hello? Hello, dudes. I thought it would be fun, though, to read the Am I the Straights Okay? And just, I'll go through and pick out the ones that aren't, like, some of them are just gross. Like, I read one last time, and it was immediately about young ladies in a really creepy way. So I don't want to read those ones. But all the pictures that I've already kind of set aside, it's just people hating their significant other. That's all that it is. The entire thread is just people who hate their partner. Why are you together? Also, though, that's a lot of the Am I the Assholes, too. It's like, what? Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it like that? Did I say, am I the Straights okay? Is that what I said? I'm not okay. I've already been on the Are the Straights okay thread for a few minutes, and I'm no longer okay now. So maybe I'll do a stream of those ones one day, or maybe a little bit of it today, but most of them are just sad and people hating their partners. That's pretty much all of it, or just people being creeps. But also might be fun. Also, could be really, really fun. Plord, thank you for the 200 bits. I'm great today. Polatus, thank you for subscribing. Alice, thank you for the 100 bits. Zoe, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, it's Charisma, Peachy Maddie, Swissley. Thank you guys for subscribing. Hannah, thank you for the 200 bits. Thank you for helping me learn that I'm ace. Oh, wait, that was from yesterday. Oh, whoop, all right, well, I caught up. That was fast. You are not okay nor straight. True. Although, I was reading a thread on Twitter that was talking about straight aces, and then people were like, is that even, if they're ace, are they straight? But then straight is meaning hetero, or just dating the opposite gender, not meaning heterosexual. But most of the time, I think it implies heterosexual. That was not what you asked. What are your thoughts? Opinions? Ideas? I'm going to put a few of the Am I the Assholes to the side. I'm going to look for the really good, juicy titles. I'm going to look for the ones that are the most likely to, like, throw us off the scent of, like, what the story's actually about. Like, those clickbait ones that are never actually what the story ends up being, what you think. You can be hetero-romantic, but are you straight if you're hetero-romantic? I think maybe. I think if you're one or the other, heterosexual or hetero-romantic, you might just lump it into as straight. But straight, in my opinion, usually ends up implying heterosexual, and people don't think you're a different sexuality because if you say you're straight, they're like, so you're not LGBT. Although that's not what that means either. You could be straight and LGBT. Honestly, meh. Now, these might be relationships with significant others, or I might pick some family relationship ones, because those ones are always like, that's like generational messy. That's a whole other level of messy, which is sometimes fun to comment on. Other times, no, and I skip them. Sometimes not such a fun story. I only want to pick the fun ones. I'd say it's just what you want to call yourself. That's what I think. I think it just comes down to whichever one you want to use as like when it comes to labels, it's always what you want to use, what you're comfortable with. Okay. Am I the asshole for kicking out my sister of our family dinner after she made a practical observation? Maybe. That one has a lot of upvotes on it. Am I the asshole for saying, as you like, when my husband said he would go to bed hungry? Yeah, that one's definitely getting read. We're reading that one. That one sounds good. That one sounds juicy. Messy, maybe, perhaps. Am I the asshole? I told my best friend's boyfriend that he planned on proposing to her at my wedding. Maybe. Maybe. Am I the asshole for refusing to buy equal gifts for my children? That's not really relationship, but I'm a little bit curious. I'm a little bit curious what you mean. What are they put equal? What does that mean? And what's the real issue here? Because that's definitely not the issue. It's never whatever they write is the issue in the title is never true. It's never the issue. Either the person writing it is oblivious to what the actual issue is, or they're just misleading you because they know that's not the actual problem. Dude, why would you propose during someone's wedding? Yeah, we haven't read it yet. I love to give benefit of the doubt because it usually is not how it seems. But definitely you shouldn't do that, I think, probably. Hi. She's been weird today. In fact, that's why I picked to do Am I the Asshole? Because we might just do a shorter 1 to 2 hour stream again. I want to start doing more longer ones anytime I'm home. But I'm going to do a short one. She's being weird today. And I'm a little bit excited. I'm planning on cleaning my entire apartment. Ceiling to floor. Every single room. Every corner. Every nook and cranny. I'm going to move furniture. I'm whipping out the vacuum. I'm not going to mop, though. I'm going to do that. That's a different day. Mopping is a whole different... That's a different breed of cleaning that I don't feel like doing today. After also, I'm going to vacuum. You can only do one. You can't do them both in the same day. That's too much. But I'm excited about deep cleaning everything. I'm going to get the duster out. I bought 2 canisters of Clorox wipes because I might just go through an entire one. And maybe even the second one too. Okay, can I explain? You can't see her right now because she's behind the chat box. Hi. She's going in the cactus. You gonna go in? Oh, do you see that little, there she goes. Only when I'm live. Only when I'm live. She goes in the little cactus. I'm gonna explain what my cat is doing. And maybe somebody can relate and can comfort me. Look at that little bean. Are you just in there? Can you see her little eyes? Wait, I'm gonna hide you for a second. You're gonna go away. I used to have Zoom cam. Where'd my... Oh. It doesn't work. The cat cam button broke. I have to fix cat cam. Do you see her little eyeball right there? She never goes in there. You're being weird today. I feel like she's hiding. I think she's freaking me out. Okay, this is what she's been doing. This started yesterday, and she keeps, like, focusing on a little corner in the room. Not on the ceiling. It's not a ghost thing. On the floor, which has me think, bug. She saw a bug. What was that? Are we both hearing and seeing things, Star? What just happened? She just left the room because she heard it too. I think someone just dropped something at my door. So she's got her eyes following something on the floor, and I'm like, oh great, a bug, I gotta go get my shoe. But then I'm moving the furniture around where she's looking, and she even kind of like is darting her eyes over like it just walked somewhere. There's no bug. No bug. I looked, there was like, maybe she mistook a dust for a bug. There was a little bit dusty. That's what made me decide to clean today. There's a little bit too much dust in all the corners. And you know how hair, anyone out there with either pets or themselves having long hair or both, and roommates that have long hair, hair falls out all the time. Irregular, pets shed, people shed. And your balls of hair all just kind of accumulate in the corners in like a big clump of hair. I have a couple of those floating around that I have to take care of. I'm thinking she thought that was a bug, and maybe it just moved in the wind inside my apartment, or the air conditioner was on. So she's seeing ghost bugs is what I'm deciding. So today I was like, okay, that's weird. And it didn't even just start last night. It happened all day in different parts of the house. She was staring at a corner that she seemed to think there must have been a bug sometime recently, but now she's seeing things like dust balls that she thinks are the bug, and she's looking for them. Because then this morning, I go out to the living room. She gets up earlier than me, which almost never happens. And I went out to the living room to see what she was doing. She's sitting at like the front of the living room, like facing the couch. And she's just staring at the carpet. And I'm like, great, there's a bug in the carpet now. And my carpet has a lot of patterns. I have to go find this bug now somewhere in my carpet. And she's looking sketched out. She's walking low. Her tail is down. And she won't touch the carpet. She's going around the edge, sitting in a spot, just staring at it. Being so weird. And then I went and sat on the couch after I like scoured the entire carpet. And no bug. There's no bug. And then I'm sitting on the couch and she's just staring at the carpet, like looking for something. There's no way it's a mouse. If I have a mouse, I haven't considered that. There's no way. I'm going to find out today when I clean the entire house. I'm going to find out what she's looking for that must have been around at some point. Also, though, I'm sitting on the couch. She comes to sit on the couch with me, staring at the thing. And then she ends up getting distracted and looking up out the window. And she's a little bit of a little swollen bump on her lip. Very reminiscent of any time she's ever been bit by a bug, like a spider. Whenever there's a bug in the house, she doesn't kill them. She just gets really, really close to sniffing them. And she's gotten a little spider bite before. It's never been a big deal. It's not even red or anything. It's just a little bump. It looks like it's a little swollen, like she got bit. What is in my house that's tormenting my cat? She's been weird all day. And now she's going in her bed, which any cat owner knows if your cat's going into the cat bed, that something's up. They don't do that. They don't go lay in their own bed. Is her neck hair standing up? She's like calm. I know what she looks like scared, because I've scared her before and she's been scared before. Where like her tail expands like double in width with how her fur stands out. Her little back spines come up. Or she'll have like I can tell. I can tell when she's scared. She's not scared. She's looking for something. She's got her eyes, and she was guarding me. Remember when I told you that story yesterday, the night before? And I only just came home a few days ago. She's walking around the house looking all over the floor. She's doing it right now. She just started checking the corner by my, like everywhere in the house. She's patrolling. I'm kind of scared now. What if it's a mouse and she got bit? Or just a really big bug that I'm simply not. She's about to go back in there. Look at her. I'm gonna make H come over. I'm gonna make H come over and help me look for what's got her so weird. Anyway, I'm sorry that took like such a long time to tell that story, and it's not at all what we came here for, but it's fine. But like, she's being weird, and I'm nervous about it. One of the spots she keeps eyeing up for a really long time is back there by my lamp, and there is a big hair clump there. I will admit that's one of the spots. What are you doing, Bean? Back in the cactus bed. She's back in the cactus bed. Could just be an ant or a tiny spider. What's funny is every time there's ever been a bug in my house, I just wonder when it happened. And where is it now? Like, she's never lost a bug before. Anytime we found a spider, me or her, those bugs don't move very often. In fact, the spider that I found originally one time a while back that she does keep looking for too, because she remembers, there was one that was behind my toilet. And that guy came down every night, and he'd go back up in the morning. But he didn't move. He wasn't moving around the house to different places. She's following something that's moving around. What is it? Where is it? And she can't find it is the thing that's, like, especially freaking me out. And now she's hiding in her cat bed. Something's up. She's being so weird. And she definitely has a little swollen lip. I don't know. She's just acting funny, and I'm nervous. But I think she's okay. I think there's just... She must have seen some kind of a weird bug. And I'm now walking around my house, watching my feet everywhere. And I will not put my feet down. I'm sitting with both my feet up. I don't want to encounter this thing either. I don't want it. This is my house. I did, after this whole ordeal, also order 2-door. You put it on the bottom of your door to, like, stop stuff getting in. Bugs, mice, cold breeze, one of those things. I got those. Because I think that's where mostly anytime a bug gets in, that's where they're coming from. There's a pretty big gap under my door. Or my bathroom window seems to have a hole somewhere that things are able to get in. Because I keep finding big-ass moths in my bathroom. And I know they're coming in through the bathroom and not from the front door and getting into the bathroom. Because my bathroom door stays closed at all times. Because she loves eating toilet paper. She's sleeping in her cat bed. I feel like she's too afraid out on the floor too. We're both afraid now. But neither of us knows why. Okay, I'm going to start reading Am I the Assholes. That is the longest story time ever. But I'm freaking out. And I'm making myself more freaked out thinking of what it could be. I live in California. We got some scary animals in this state. Scary small ones. Luckily, she's okay. So whatever it is and it bit her, it can't be anything that bad. And if it's a mouse, I know how to handle that. I really doubt it's a mouse. I'd be so curious how a mouse would end up here. It's the summer, so it's so hot. I will be really shocked if it might be a mouse. What if it is a mouse? I have to check my Ring camera. I have to check for movement. Oh wait, I don't think I have to pay for the service for Ring to save anytime there's movement on the camera. So I can't go back to recording subscription inactive. I have to activate that. Shoot. I was gonna check my Ring camera to see. Do you think there's a mouse in my house? Star, is it a mouse? And I'm wondering, has it been here since I was gone for 3 weeks? I've been gone. I have no idea what's in my house now. I will not adopt it, but I will get a non-killing trap for it. That's what we did. My family in New Jersey in the winter would get mice all the time. Cute little brown field mice, just looking for a warm place to hide from the cold winter. We'd get them in our house all the time. Get one of those little no-kill. They go in, and when they go all the way to the back, it closes the little door on them. Drive out to the middle of nowhere and release him. I'm scared to clean today because I am going to find out. I'm going to find out. And I don't know if I'm prepared for that. All right. Am I the asshole for saying as you like when my husband said he would go to bed hungry? Okay. Okay, this might seem silly, but I'm conflicted on whether I was the asshole here. My husband, 33, is a picky eater, but I know what meals he likes and make sure to cook them all week. Oh, I already don't like it. But I'm judging too fast. Sometimes this dynamic is fine, and it's been communicated that this is a fine dynamic between two people, and that's okay. Only because he's just not in the mood to eat this specific meal. Oh, wait. Sorry, I skipped a sentence. However, lately he's been complaining about the meals that I cook that are his favorites, only because he's just not in the mood to eat this specific meal. So he would try to get me to cook something else right then and there, and now I don't like it anymore. If I say no, then he would go to bed hungry and without dinner. I feel so bad. I just cook what he wants. How old is he? 33? I got tired of it because it kept happening. Last night he came home and saw the 2 different meals I cooked. He looked at them both and said he wasn't in the mood to eat either of them. And I asked if I could cook him another meal. I was upset, so I said, no, this is all I had on the menu. She cooked 2 dinners. Oh my God. He made a face and acted sad and then was like, are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to cook me a 3rd dinner? I would have to go to bed hungry. Wouldn't that make you feel sad? Ew! This is gross. Is this real? This one sounds fake. I stayed in my chair and shrugged and said, as you like, honey. He got upset and told me I had no consideration for him, nor do I care about his feelings, and if he go to bed hungry after working the whole day. And if he go... About his feelings or if he'd go hungry after working the whole day. I stayed quiet, then he stormed away from me. We didn't speak till this morning. I'm not a big fan of the going to bed angry and then not talking to each other until the next day. But... He said my as you like attitude was hurtful and dismissive and now expecting an apology for it. Edit a couple of points. He is the breadwinner, so house duties fall on me mainly. Okay. Not necessarily bad, but you definitely don't get to ask for 3 dinners because the 2, you already cooked 2 separate ones just in case he might not like the first one. And she is only cooking the foods he likes. He's just not in the right mood. So it's not even food he doesn't like. It's food he likes, but just doesn't want to eat in that particular moment. This is the first time he yelled at me, and I'm shocked because usually he's a sweet talker and unbelievably quiet. I admit that he can use his sweet talking to get me to cave in sometimes. That's called manipulation. That's what that is. That's not sweet talking. That's he's manipulating you. You know, being responsible for most of the house duties, if you happen to be the partner that doesn't work and is fully okay with and wanting to be supported by their partner 100% so you can do those things, that's okay. When you cook 2 dinners and he's like, I don't really want either of them. Will you cook me another one? Are you sure you don't want to? Because I'll go to bed hungry. I hate the, are you sure you don't want to do it? That makes my skin crawl. Asked, could you, okay, this is the conversation I'm imagining. Could you cook me another dinner after you've cooked 2? No, this is all I had on the menu. These are the ingredients that I had. I cooked over 2 whole dinners. I don't really want to cook another one. Are you sure you don't want to? I'm pretty sure. I hate that. Okay, yeah, no, he's the asshole, for sure. For real, it's okay to work from home, or work... I don't even think she works from home. I think she doesn't work, which is fine. But if your significant other acts like this, it's not okay. No. And absolutely zero appreciation for the fact that, you see, I would imagine in one scenario, maybe he's thinking she's not doing that much. She's not working that hard because she doesn't have a job and is just staying home all the time. So it's the simplest ask for you to cook a third meal because you're not doing anything all day. But that's probably not true. She's probably not doing nothing all day long. And even still, I don't think you get to demand a third dinner. Not a partnership, not where you're supposed to be a team. I wonder if that's why she couldn't sleep. I'm thinking about my cat. Also, a massive waste of food. Also, it's not even that she's, like, maybe, what if the story was she decided to get a little experimental? She wants to, because she stays home all day, she wants to start cooking funky things and learn different cooking techniques, and maybe some of her food's been bad. Still wouldn't excuse any of his behavior, but at least in that scenario, you can understand him saying no to even just one meal, but after making 2 meals, and they're foods he likes. No. No, not the asshole I just stopped cooking for him at all. This seems like a weird power play of trying to see how much he can get you to do for him. He's a grown-ass man. He can cook his own dinner if he feels the need to be so picky. It's not even a matter of being picky anymore when it's your favorite food, but you don't want it today. It's still your favorite food, but you just don't want it tonight for some reason, which I can't understand at all. In my house, at least as a kid, if my mom made food that I just didn't like and I already knew ahead of time I wasn't going to like it, she'd either just cook me up like a quick mac and cheese, or I, myself, would go to the fridge. Honestly, I don't even really think that ever happened where she'd have to cook anything else for me. I would go in the fridge and eat a leftover, because surely she has tons of them because you're not eating any of the food she is making for you. So there's probably leftovers in the fridge. But then imagine him, he's just like, but I don't want leftovers either. I want fresh food. I want it to be freshly cooked by you specifically. Yeah, if I didn't like what my mom made, or I complained about it, or had a complaint about it, she'd say, all right, get something else out of the fridge. Make a sandwich, have toast even. But there's other food that you can get yourself. You are capable of doing that. I was when I was 11, so you can too. I want to stick to the relationship ones, but I did set aside some of the ones that aren't specifically relationship because they just seem really good and I want to read them. Actually, a lot of these are not really a relationship. It's always family ones. It's always family problems. At least today, it's only family ones. I'm also really congested today for some reason. I feel like I sound sicker and in my nose more today. Let's see. Am I the asshole for telling my wife's mom that my wife hasn't showered for 5 weeks? What's she doing that for? What's she doing that for? Okay. My wife just gave birth to twins. Oh. Okay, or hold on. My wife just gave birth to twins and hasn't had a shower since. Not at all. 5 weeks is a lot. 5 weeks is a bit excessive. 5 weeks? Aren't you supposed to shower like my sister has had babies and my other sister has had babies and I've been to the hospital to visit. They have like a whole shower room. Like it's built specifically for showering because you got stuff. The stuff's still coming out. You gotta go shower it off. You have to go wash. 5 weeks, right? Is that not true? I don't know. I never had a baby myself, but like the bathroom's set up in a way that you kind of just can. I don't know. They got special showers in hospitals, specifically in the room where they have babies being delivered, and then are taking care of the mothers after they've given birth. They have these like little walk-in showers. You got stuff still that you gotta deal with. Okay, all right. Every time I ask her to, she gives some kind of excuse, like I can't leave the babies or I'm just too tired. You know what? 5 weeks is a long time, but it does sound like depression. She never acted like this with our first child. That doesn't mean anything. And even when I took time off work to help her, she still refused. I can't understand why it has gotten beyond frustrating and worrying. Okay, definitely, 100%. Other things she usually looks after, like dinner and cleaning the house, haven't been looked after. This is written poorly. Also, yeah, that's depression. That's definitely what that is. She just had a kid. I've been doing as much as I can myself, which is hard because I work full time. Now those things I can manage for the time being, as I understand that it must take time getting used to taking care of the new additions to our family. She is starting to sink. Oh, I meant to say stink. It says sink. She's really starting to stink. And it's hard for me when I sleep beside her during the night. So during work, I called her mom to see if she had any idea to help her daughter. Her mom gave me a few ideas, but didn't tell me she was going to come over, which she did. Okay, so he went to his wife's mother for help. He didn't really do anything wrong yet. He hasn't done anything wrong. My mother-in-law went over to our house and basically forced my wife in the shower and refused to leave until she did shower. When I got home, my wife was pissed off and told me she didn't need her mom involved and that she only needed my support during the hard time she's going through. She's barely spoken to me ever since, and now I feel as if I've done something wrong. I have a split mind about this one. She's definitely experiencing depression after having her child, and there are multiple ways you can go about helping somebody get out of that position of being so depressed that you're not showering, you're not cleaning, you're not taking care of your environment or yourself in any way. Some people go the tough love route where they come in, put you in the shower, clean up for you, and like get everything in order and kind of whip you up into shape real quick. I don't know if that's the best one to do, but I think that it's something that's worked for other people, so I'm not saying that it's something that isn't necessarily the right move for her. She needed help, she needed help. He went to his mom, didn't know she was going to come over and do that. I don't know if the mom should have shoved her in the shower, but how about at least start a conversation first? Maybe, did that happen? I figured maybe that must have at least happened at least once with the husband, for him to at least attempt to communicate with his wife, like, hey, noticed you haven't showered? And you're not like, you've seemed a little bit not, in the groove of things. What's going on? How can we help? What she said is she wanted his support. I would have assumed he would have done that before calling his mom. I don't really know. Usually it feels like a little bit of a small communication issue, because also maybe get a therapist in the house, get a nanny to help out, or get your mom to just help out around the house while she's not making dinner and cleaning, or I don't really know, honestly, in this one. Can someone let me know why she would be depressed after having her kids? That is something that is known as postpartum depression. It happens very, very, very commonly. It is the most normal thing to happen. I'm going to go read the Google on it. Just the rough. The birth of a baby can trigger a jumble of powerful emotions from excitement and joy to fear and anxiety, but also can result in something you might not expect, depression. Incredibly common, happens all the time. And there's ways to get help for it. You should talk to a therapist. I don't know what the treatments for postpartum depression are necessarily, but have they started going down that route of trying different ways of helping? Is he talking to her about that? Or did he jump from letting her not shower for 5 weeks and then call his mom about it before talking to her? I don't really know. I feel like there's not enough information. He was trying to help, but like, how much did he talk to her about finding a solution? And has she been dismissive of it? Is that why he had to jump to calling the mom? Yep. But yeah, if you've never heard of that before, that's like a very, very common thing when someone's just had a baby. Am I the asshole for saying my friend Nope, I'm not reading that one. It's not about a relationship, and it honestly is the kind of messy I don't want to get involved in. We're the relationship ones. Am I the asshole for asking for the laptop I gifted my girlfriend after she gave it to her sister? She should not have done that. I'm just going to up top say that. Oh, I want to read this one. Am I the asshole for leaving my husband at the airport after he tried to make me carry his luggage? Okay. My husband, 32, was on a business trip that lasted for 4 weeks. Once he got back, he told me to come pick him up. He told you to come pick him up. Okay, we're off on a bad foot already, but I drove to the airport and got inside to get him from there. Oh, that's even extra nice of you, because when I pick people up from the airport, I love to do it. I'm the most happy to do it. I'm probably one of the only people who feels this way. I love driving, and I am completely and utterly unbothered and unstressed when it comes to driving through the airport to pick someone up. However, I do not park and go inside. I drive up and they load into my car. So even extra nice of her to park and go get him. The second he saw me, especially though at LAX, I would never park there even for short term. So any other airport, it's been super easy to be able to do that. I wouldn't mind it, but not at LAX. But I love going to pick people up and just do like a little drive-through situation. Okay. I drove to the airport and got inside to get him from there. The second he saw me, he let go of his 2 bags and started walking. I tried to get him to stop, but he told me to get the bags and follow him. Why is he telling you things? Why is he telling you what to do? Note that I'm 12 weeks pregnant. Oh, no. I'm 12 weeks pregnant, but he tells me that I'm still in good shape. Oh, no. I told him those bags were too heavy for me to carry, and he went on a rant about how exhausted he was from sitting on the plane for 4 hours straight. His arms, neck, legs, and back hurt. He's 32. He's talking like he's 70 for a 4-hour flight. Okay. I'm 28 and I fly for 11 hours regularly, at least once a month at this rate lately. Oh my God. Sometimes I go on my 11-hour flights and I don't even get up the whole time. Is something maybe wrong? Did I dehydrate that I didn't even have to get up to pee the whole time? Maybe. Although I have like a fear of making other people get up on a plane to let me out to go to the bathroom. And I will at all costs avoid doing it if possible, as often as possible. If I'm in a seat that has people that would have to get up. I honestly love aisle seats. As much as I love looking out the window, love aisle seats because I don't mind getting up. And that's probably how everyone else is thinking too. But I hate making people get up. So I avoided it. Even on 11 hours of flying, I don't even have to get up to pee once. If my body knows I'm about to be in a situation where like peeing, if I've told myself is not an option, if I'm driving for a really, really long time, I can hold it for a really long time. I have trained myself, I guess, to do that. Okay. His tone got more tense and told me that I was being annoying. I told him to get someone to carry his bags for him. Are these not rolling bags? What kind of bags? First of all, he needs to get himself a set of rolling luggage that you don't even have to like have it lean, that has like 4 wheels, you know what I mean? They also make carts that you can put your luggage on and then roll the cart if your luggage isn't the rolling kind. What kind of bags did you pack? Because that's step number 1 when you frequent an airport. Have the easiest bag to deal with if you're not going to be wanting to deal with it. Have the easiest bag. Okay, have someone carry it. He replied, I already have one and it's you. Come on, I'm so tired of standing. Then kept walking and ignored me. Why'd you marry him? Has this never come up before? Has he never displayed this behavior before? Is this new? You married him. I left his luggage where he left and walked straight past him. He freaked out and started yelling at me to get back. I walked out and got into my car and drove off because I was literally having none of it. I felt so upset and humiliated. He got home by a taxi, but was livid at me for leaving him at the airport just because he asked for my help. He didn't ask. According to the story, he told you you had to do it and stayed in the bedroom after the shower. He said I embarrassed him and made a scene and overreacted big time. He went upstairs and stayed in the bedroom after the shower. He's still upset with me, saying I reacted poorly in an unsupportive, inappropriate manner. You have what I would call communication issues and need therapy together to work on that. Because here's what this is how in my mind you can solve this, or could have solved it, by simply speaking to each other calmly and just talking, not angry, not accusing, just expressing how you feel. He felt unsupported and that she behaved in an inappropriate manner. She was being told what to do and probably felt unappreciated for going out of her way to go and pick him up in the first place at an airport, which most people hate to do, parked, and then went inside to get him. She probably is feeling a little bit unappreciated for how you told her to get his bags and follow him. So maybe he should have asked. It would have made her feel a little bit better, would have made her feel a little bit more appreciated for what she's doing for him. And maybe she would have taken one at least to help you if she said, they're a bit heavy and I'm pregnant. And the car's right there. It's only a short walk away. You can manage after flying for 4 years. Being so dramatic. He's a baby. Yeah, but their communication, she's not communicating with him very well at all either. She is also doing a really poor job of communicating with him. They have a horrible, horrible issue in this relationship with how they communicate to each other, because they both kind of suck at it. She is not the asshole, but they both suck in this relationship. Just as a side note, I'm looking, man. I'm looking for anything. If a mouse comes out, I'm so ready. I'm watching her. She's hiding in the cactus bed. I'm checking, though. Yeah, he is the asshole in this situation, but you both suck in the relationship and should probably... Oh, man, you're married. You're married and are pregnant. I just want to know, did this truly never come up before as an issue with your communication before you got married, before you got pregnant, before, you got invested in any way, shape, or form? How'd you get here? How did it never come up? Or did you think it was like he'll grow out of it, or it'll be different when we're married, or it'll be different when we have a kid? You need, in these situations, if that's what you're thinking, no. You need it to be different before you do those things. You need your partner to be able to show you consistently and with trust that it can be different and will be different, and make it be different before you get married. I can fix him. Do it first and then marry them. Don't do it. Don't get married and then think you can do it later. If you think you can do it, honestly, more power to you. You deserve the absolute best in this world, though. But hey, you do you. But if you're going to fix them, make sure it happens before you marry them. Make sure it can be done. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Not the asshole. A lot of abuse starts when the woman gets pregnant. And seriously, what dude in his right mind just drops his bag on his girl like she's a valet? It's time for divorce. Did this happen before? Because if the genuine answer is yes, he's never been like this before, yikes. That's even worse. That's scary. No one commenting on also her, like, they just both have communication issues. They both are in a point where they cannot speak effectively to each other as people that respect and trust each other with with their feelings. That's just a really bad spot to be in with your husband when you're pregnant. Okay. Am I the asshole for corrupting my daughter's mind? This is not a relationship one. But what does that mean? What does that mean? I want to know. I want to know because I'm nosy and I'm curious. I want to know. What'd you do? What does that even mean? I, 24 female, have 2 kids. Allie, 4 female, and James, 5 months. With my now ex-fiance, Dylan, 29 male. We went on a huge family camping trip with my family for my Father's Day. Okay, so this one is a relationship one, though, so this is good. Dylan wasn't a fan because he doesn't like my family, but he came and you know what? Sometimes it's the family though. I don't blame him because sometimes it is the family. He doesn't like my family, but he came anyway. One of my family friends, Devin, 24 male, came too. Dylan's not a fan of Devin. Okay, he doesn't like your family or your friends. Now I'm not so sure. Dylan's not a fan of Devin, and they've had words before, but I told him to get along with him for the weekend. It's not a red flag, necessarily, for your partner to not get along with your family, because sometimes, a lot of the times, it's the family. Sometimes it is the family. But then when they also don't like your friends, or when your friends don't get along with your partner, is not necessarily a red flag, because sometimes it's your friends. Sometimes they suck. Sometimes your partner's right and your friends suck, and them not liking your partner is not your partner issue, it's a them issue. But I think when it's both, it's not looking good for you. Unless they both suck. Maybe the family and the friends both suck. Honestly possible. I've seen it before. While camping, a few of my cousins, my dad, Devin, and myself wanted to fish, so we left on a mile hike upriver. I had James in a baby sling while I was carrying his diaper bag. Allie was having a hard time climbing a steep hill, as was I. I asked Dylan for help, but he ignored me while he played on his phone. Okay, I'm not liking Devin anymore. Dylan. Why do they both have to have D's? Devin noticed and took my diaper bag and helped Allie walk up the hill. Once we got to the fishing spot, Dylan just sat on his phone while I was trying to help Allie fish. She just sits in my lap and holds the end of my pole and thinks she's fishing. When James got hungry, I asked Dylan to help Allie so I can feed James, but he just looked at me and told me to figure it out. Where are you finding these men? Where are these men coming from? And why are you marrying them? Figure it out with your children? Figure it out? And did he never show a sign like this before? Maybe he didn't. Maybe it came after the kids came. Honestly, when someone in the comments said that, it's true. It does happen sometimes. So maybe he wasn't like this before. But when he's like this now, you need therapy or divorce. I forgot. They did divorce. He's an ex. I already forgot that she called him her ex-fiance in the post. So they did end up divorcing. So. Okay. At the time, they were still together, but they did end up breaking up. I forgot about that already. Honestly, probably for the best. Okay. Figure it out. Devin stepped in for me while I fed James. Allie even caught a fish. Dylan only looked up for a second when Allie tried to show him her fish. We got back to camp, and after Allie made s'mores with Devin's help, she had to pee, so I left James and Devin while I took her to my parents' trailer where Dylan was. While going potty, Allie told me that she wished that Devin was her daddy. Oh, no. Dylan overheard, and after I sent Allie back outside, he said I was a terrible mother for letting his daughter want a different dad. Oh, no. I told him that I don't control what Allie thinks, and that he should be a better father. He said that I should have... I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to read what he said. Oh, no. He said she should have done... Essentially what he said is that she shouldn't have had Allie in the first place, like he told her to. So I broke up with him. Ooh. And you wonder why she wants a different dad? He got angry to the point where my teenage cousin had to physically remove him from the situation. Dylan took the car and left me at the campsite. Yikes. He got angry to the point where my teenage cousin had to physically... Oh, wait, I just read that. I got calls from his mother telling me I'm Satan and that I'm a terrible mother for corrupting Allie's brain. Devin has been a great support letting me vent to him. I have a lot of... Okay, my brain's going a lot of places, and I want to talk all the things through because I'm having like a little... I'm just wondering if I'm the asshole. I could have been more clear to Allie that she should be happy with the father she has. Okay, I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts, actually. Okay. Or just distance from Devin because Dylan's dislike for him. I think a lot of things happened here. Number one, you need... he needs therapy. You both probably could use therapy, actually. Everybody could use it. There's only a positive to come from it, but he definitely needs it. Here's what I'm thinking could have happened I'm being very generous in this situation to Dylan, but not giving him any excuses for his behavior. He's in a situation where he's incredibly uncomfortable because he's surrounded by people that he doesn't like and probably don't like him either. Because I don't think it really goes one way. Usually if the significant other prompted a dislike for your family and your friend, they probably know about that. They probably tell, and they probably don't like you either. So incredibly uncomfortable situation he decided to go on anyway. Which could have been a good thing. Maybe in the end, it might have been best for him not to go in the first place if you couldn't be maybe at least a little bit kind during this trip, or, just hold it back for a weekend like he said he would. That was honestly a good move on Dylan to go anyway to support his wife and his children and spend time with her family, even if he doesn't like them, because sometimes, in this case, I don't think it's true anymore, but sometimes the family are hard to get along with. Sometimes they are the problem. If that was the case, it still doesn't excuse any of Dylan's behavior, because he did not keep his word that he would be able to get along with everybody for a weekend like he said he would, and that's why he came. To tell your wife, who is supposed to be your partner and your teammate, if you're having a bad time because you're around people that you don't like and don't like you, your wife's supposed to be the person that you can go to talk about it and feel comfortable around and trust with your feelings and be vulnerable with. Maybe don't go on the fishing trip. Maybe let her go with Devin and the kids. You are not communicating with your wife is what I'm gathering from this, because you're not talking about these things with her if you're having these feelings in the first place at all. If that is even the case, you're being mean to her and not helping with your own children. And then you said you wish she never had the child that you have together in the first place, like you had told her previously. That's where you went way too far, and you wonder why the kid doesn't want you as a father. And it sounds like this isn't the weekend trip is one thing. If he's having all of these feelings, like negative feelings, and it's making him behave this way, that would be one thing. But if the daughter is feeling like she wishes Devin was her dad, that means that's happening at home too. That means you're not doing a good enough job at home with your wife and your kids, and you're obviously carrying resentment for your wife and your own daughter. And you're not communicating any of that until it results in something incredibly hurtful to your wife, and your daughter is suffering for it too. And now your son will too. Although they broke up, so I don't really understand why this is on Reddit. I think you were not the asshole. And you broke up with him, so you did the thing that you needed to do. I guess the end result of this trip was her breaking up, and now she's asking Reddit if she's the asshole because it just happened. And it's not like a past story that she's looking for validation. Although maybe she's looking for validation because it sounds like he's a psycho. Yeah, definitely for the best that they got divorced, I think. That I'm not a believer that there is a situation that is 100%. Well, maybe there is a situation that is 100% unremediable. I'd be a believer in trying, probably. But this one would be a very hard one. You'd have to go through a lot of therapy together. And it probably ultimately is for the best that they're not together. But, if it was a situation where you really loved your partner and you did not want, if you could get back to a place where you're back in love and happy and you want to do the work to do that, it's absolutely entirely possible if that's what you want as a couple. But if not, then divorce is definitely the best thing. And better for the kids in the end, too. Yeah, sounds like that problem didn't just come up over that weekend. It wasn't, that weekend was not the problem. He's like that at home, too, if her daughter is feeling like she wants a different person as her dad. You're bad dad. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You're a bad dad. Oh, and his mother. Obviously, now we understand why he ended up the way he did. Because she called. Does she know what he said, though? Because if I was the wife and my husband, who said that he wishes I never had her daughter in the first place, I would say to his mother that he said that. don't think she would love to hear that her son said that, but maybe she's just on her son's side no matter what, I wonder. Maybe, perhaps, but I don't know. I would definitely tell on him to his own mother that he said that to see if she would still support her son after saying what a horrible garbage thing to say. Cool. Well, not cool. He's the asshole. And you made the right decision. Am I the asshole for being mad at my wife for sending our kid to school in dirty clothes? Okay. Let's see. Dylan most likely sugarcoated the truth to his mom for her to turn around and call her Satan. That's what I'm thinking. Honestly, if the wife told her, okay, but this is what your son said to me, I wonder if she would either be like, oh my God, my son's a horrible person, or call the wife a liar because my perfect boy would never say that. You know what I mean? Coraline, Otherworld, thank you for subscribing. Non-binary mermaid, thanks for subbing. Ayartia, I don't know if that's correct that I said that. Thank you for subscribing. Silent Spook, Sam Woo, True Lovin', thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you, dudes. Yeah, all right. I want to change the tune of the music. I feel like this one's too slow. No. I'm not feeling Stardew. You know what we never made it to? Wait, I want to see what's this vibe gonna feel like. No. I put Kingdom Hearts in here, but I don't think that's the appropriate vibe. What about later songs? No, we're gonna remove that one. That just doesn't go with the vibe. This is it. This is the vibe. This is what we're going with. Captain Big Bite, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I think she would call the wife a liar. Honestly, that's what I think would probably happen too. But, okay. Am I the asshole for being mad at my wife for sending our kid to school in dirty clothes? I, 35 male, am married to Sam, 32 female, and have 2 daughters. My daughter Abby is in 3rd grade and hates to read. I love that little tidbit of information. I don't know if it's relevant or not. I'd hope if it wasn't. It just was like, this is my daughter. She's in 3rd grade and she hates to read. It was really hard to get her. Oh, it was part of the story. All right. Well, it was funny to think that it was just a little side fact. It was really hard to get her to learn to read, and she's at a point where she can read, but it's not the best. She can read fine to herself, but she struggles a lot with reading out loud. At school, her teacher does reading Thursdays, where they read a book as a class. So they go around the class, and the kids read a paragraph out loud. Okay. Why are all these Western names so generic? They might be fake names. In fact, in a lot of cases, they're fake names so that the actual people the stories are about don't find out about it. So I think they're just picking generic, fake people names. Or these are just their names. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with the name Sam or Abby, though. But it's probably possible that it's fake. They're fake names. Okay, Abby hates this, and it's a struggle to get her to school each Thursday. The teacher's older, and when I brought my concern up to her, she basically told me that Abby cannot read, but she will not get the point and will fail reading class. My wife agreed with this and told me Abby needs to read in class. This is how she will get better. Oh. There isn't... Maybe. Maybe she'll get better the more she does it if she just makes herself do it. She's also a child, so she's in 5th grade. It might, but sometimes some kids need a different way of being taught something to be able to learn it. So saying this is how she gets better... Not necessarily. It might not be how she gets better. There might be a different way she gets better. It might be a different thing she needs to do to learn. People learn differently. Reading out loud in front of people might be the problem, but how she gets better might be reading out loud one-on-one with the teacher after school more often and getting comfortable and then being able to do it. Apparently she is able to read to herself just fine, but... Do they practice with their daughter? Also that, you gotta help out at home too. If she needs a little bit of extra learning help, bring her home and have her read out loud to you. Have her read her little bedtime stories out loud. Is she better at doing it at home out loud to you? Okay. All right. We don't know, though. My wife is the type of person who thinks pushing through is the best course of action. That's the problem. That doesn't work for everybody. Lots of kids learn differently, and you can't force them to learn one way because that's how it worked for most other kids. That is not how you get better sometimes. It doesn't work sometimes for kids. Her dad was like that and would also say, suck it up. So today, Abby didn't want to go to school. I saw the beginning of the meltdown before I went to school. I picked the kids up today from school. Why did he say from school 4 times? Abby was in dirty clothes. Her clothes were covered in dirt and mud. I asked her what happened, and Abby said, Mom sent me on the bus like this. I was livid. I got home and told Abby to change and waited until my wife got home. When she got home, I asked why Abby went to school in dirty clothes. She said right as the bus was getting there, Abby decided to roll around in the dirt and try to get out of school. Okay. She then put her on the bus, even with Abby looking like a mess. We got in an argument with me saying you could have gotten her changed and then drove her to school. My wife said she's done and wasn't going to be late to work, that my daughter needs to live with the consequences of her actions. The argument got more heated and she left to stay with her sister for the night. Her final words were, have fun getting the kids ready for school tomorrow and being late to work. I talked to my mom and she called me a dumbass. Uh-oh. Wait, but you aren't the dumbass. Edit, we have had Abby tested and she doesn't have anything. The vagueness of that sentence could mean anything. She has always been the type of kid to run away from challenges. We still read with her twice a week with popcorn reading. In reading, she is a B student. All the classes, she's thriving. So she's just a little bit behind. She's not even failing. She's a B. And they do it at home twice a week. I don't know what popcorn reading is. I've never heard of that. Is that where you like take turns? What does that mean? Round robin reading. Go around the room. Oh, so they do that at home too. Oh, okay, I see. It's just taking turns. I've never heard it be called round robin either, or whatever that said. I don't know. A B is good. So she might be struggling a little bit, but it's a big deal and a big sign that something's wrong that she is so against going to school on Thursdays and doing this one activity for one probably hour-long class, if that, where she has to read in front of people out loud in class. So much so that she will roll around in the dirt so she does not have to go to school and do it. There's a serious problem for her now. That's a whole tantrum. She does not want to go to school. Should you let her get away with doing that every time something is happening in school that she doesn't want to do? No, but send her to school in dirty clothes. She needs help. And she's not getting the sufficient help that's helping her get better in class. Because if it was just an issue of she's got to be in reading, she's not very good at it, that's one thing. But her reaction to going to school on Thursdays, she really doesn't want to go. I wonder what the problem is for her. Has someone sat down and asked her? I feel like a lot of times parents don't think of that as a course of action, to just sit with your child and ask them, what don't you like about it? Do you just not like struggling in front of people? Do the kids laugh? Is it just harder? Do you get nervous standing up? Maybe they're not even laughing or bullying. She just is so nervous to do it in the first place because she has a bit of a stage fright, nerves, anxiety. Did anybody ask her? Did anyone talk to her? Kids can communicate very, very, very clearly and effectively because their language is very simple. They'll tell you straight up. Just in the absolute simplest words, you will be able to understand. Kids won't say, though, if they're getting bullied. Maybe. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of her being really little. My brain keeps thinking 5. She's in 5th grade. That's like 10. You know, maybe she wouldn't. But I'm just asking if they even sat down with her to ask in the first place. Maybe she won't tell them if she's being bullied about it and that's what she doesn't like. Then you ask a teacher because the teacher witnesses it, right? If you're reading in front of the class and when it's her turn, the teacher will know if kids are snickering and laughing, you know? Did you do any of those steps? Did you talk to her in the first place? Maybe you get nothing out of her. You start there, though, you know? She's 10 years old and she rolled in dirt during a tantrum. it's something's wrong. So there's something seriously wrong where she's having a full meltdown at 10, 11 years old, rolling around in the dirt to avoid going to school on this one day because she doesn't want to do this one thing. That's like, she's having very extreme emotions. Someone needs to help her out. She needs to talk to somebody about it. Honestly, I feel like that's something, correct me if I'm wrong. If this was you, would your mom settle for you throwing a tantrum and rolling in dirt? Or would she put you on that bus in the dirty clothes and not let you get away with that? Because I think some people's moms might be that mom. Is it the right move? No, maybe not necessarily. A bit of an extreme lesson you're trying to teach your kid by sending her on the bus in dirty clothes, that you can't just... Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. But I think there's a parenting method where you just are very nice and talk to your kid and have a relationship where she will also talk to you back and express how she feels, because it's a safe environment to do so. And you can tell her, I know you don't like it, I know it's really hard, but you can't skip school every Thursday. It's not an option. Let's go get you changed and I'll drive you. Maybe don't send her in dirty clothes. Although I think I know some parents that are that parent that would say, nope, not having it. Get on that bus. I don't care if you're dirty. I don't know if it's the best though, but not all the parents always make the right decisions. I don't think it makes her a horrible person. Or even the asshole. Although her method of this is the only way she gets better is definitely not true. That's not necessarily true. You have to be willing to explore that. That might not be the way it gets better for her. Maybe get that kid some therapy while you're at it. That's what I think. My mom would have caved and let me stay home. I wonder what my mom would have done. Because I did have one time where I had a meltdown like that. But it wasn't something that was an issue every week. It was just one time I had a meltdown. But my mom made me do the thing anyway. I don't think this makes my mom a horrible person. Not every parent is going to make a perfect parenting decision every single time a problem comes up. Completely and utterly impossible to do. So I think as a parent, you try your best for the times you're going to make mistakes. Just try and make it, those moments where you're making the mistakes are not the absolute most detrimental things to your child's well-being and to future and just mental health status. Make the mess up something that you can both learn from and recover from and grow. In your relationship is mother and daughter, mother and child, father and child, parent and child, whatever it be. My mom probably would have, I don't think she would have sent me in dirty clothes, but I would have been going to school that day, I think, one way or another. Maybe not. I don't know. At 10? I don't know. I did it one time and I had to go. I had to go do the thing that I didn't want to do. I don't know. The dirty clothes is a line that I don't think my mom would have sent me to school in the dirty clothes. She probably would have begrudgingly kept me home if she couldn't be late, or do the thing of take me inside to change and be late for work because you had to drive me instead and be very upset with me. Probably send me to my room and cut me off from RuneScape. That's probably what would have happened. Let's see. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for the wedding if my fiance invites the first guy she got intimate with? Okay. I'm gonna make a wild guess on this one. That you need to communicate better. I'm just gonna see if that ends up being the problem. There's a lot of things that could be right or wrong. A lot of scenarios where you could be the asshole, you might not be the asshole. But I'm gonna go ahead and guess communication issues in this relationship. Let's see if I'm right. Throwaway because my coworker is very nosy and I don't want to give her something to gossip around the office, especially since she doesn't know I got engaged. My fiance and I are getting married at the beginning of next year. Since last month, she started making a list of people to invite. Whenever she added someone to the list that I didn't know, she'd tell me about them and how they met. It's interesting she's inviting so many people you've never heard of. Interesting. Just saying. 2 days ago, she added a name to the Google Docs file and didn't tell me anything about him. When I asked about who he was, she replied that he was the first guy that she got intimate with. I thought she was joking or messing with me, but she was dead serious. Okay. See, I was going to say it is 100% completely normal and fine and good and healthy when a person has a good standing relationship with an ex. Not even necessarily an ex, just someone she was intimate with. Not even a relationship. Maybe if they still had a relationship with each other, like in terms of a friendship. But it sounds like she hasn't spoken to him in a really long time. That her husband or her fiance has never heard of him before. If it was someone that's regularly still in her life and is her close friend now, perfectly good and healthy and fine. Him being a little bit uncomfortable also would be very valid, and they should talk about it. But she's never mentioned him before. He is not in her life still, so they're not like really close friends after having been intimate once in their past. That would have been fine. So this is a little sus. I asked her if he was a friend or at least an ex-classmate, but it was literally just a random guy from school that she was with for a month, and she insisted on uninviting. That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know anymore. I really didn't want to play the I'm paying for the wedding card, but I did, especially... I don't think that's where you should have gone next, but that's okay. I did, especially since she was the one who wanted to have a wedding in the first place, because she's been dreaming about it since she was a little girl. And since I only invited my parents and 2 sisters, whereas she was inviting over 40 people. Very small. Even only 40 people for her side. Actually, is that small? No, maybe that's not small. His side's small. His side is only his sisters and parents. That's really weird. It would have been... This is what I was expecting, actually. I thought the twist was going to be... He's uncomfortable with a friend of hers that is still in her life that she had been intimate with. You're allowed to be uncomfortable. Have a conversation about it. If this is a friend that is a very close and personal, like, friend of hers, they have a really good relationship, I think that's something the husband would have had to get past and allow her to have one of her closest friends in her side of the wedding as an invite, and he needs to communicate and work through whatever insecurity and jealousy he's having in that moment, but that is not what happened. Does he not have friends? Why doesn't he have any friends either? Something's sus about this one. Something is a little bit suspicious in this one. Honestly, if he just didn't want to invite a bunch of people, that's fine. Maybe he just wanted family, really small wedding. He didn't want a wedding, in fact, is what he said. He didn't want one. She wanted the wedding, so he didn't invite a bunch of people because he didn't want to have a wedding. So he just invited his mom, dad, sisters. But she's inviting people you've never heard of that are not people who are in her life currently. Were not even people that were in her life in any meaningful way in the first place, like as a friend or classmate. Just a random dude she was intimate with for a month. But I think I'm right. Why can't you communicate? She didn't tell you about this person. She needs to be able to now tell you about why it is so important for this random ass man to go to your wedding when he's not her friend. What is she thinking? Have you asked her? You must talk to her. She's being weird. She's definitely being weird. And if she doesn't communicate to you exactly what's going on, you have communication problems. You probably shouldn't marry her. Probably a good idea, or probably a good thing this happened before you got married. She just wants more gifts from people. Maybe that's it. And honestly, I would love to know what it is in her perspective, and if he will ask her, and if she would be even willing to, like, calmly express truthfully why she's inviting this dude. Not the asshole, but shouldn't you work this out together instead of playing cards if you're getting married? That's what I don't like that he went for the, but I'm paying for the wedding card. How about you go to the, I'm feeling disconnected. I don't understand why you're inviting somebody that you don't really know. Can you explain it to me better? I don't know. Maybe that should have been the next move, but at least you're not married yet. At least you guys still have an opportunity to get out because you probably are going to want to. Maybe she's inviting random people because you're only inviting 4 people and she wants it to look crowded. You have to ask her. You have to ask her, and she has to be able to communicate to you exactly and truthfully 100% what she's doing. At my parents', they just put people from my mom's side onto my dad's side to even it out. Maybe she's just inviting everyone she's hooked up with. Oh, dude, I don't know. Not the asshole, but this seems very lopsided. Why are you only inviting a few people and she's inviting over 40? It's a bit weird. I'm sure he has friends. He did say he just doesn't want to have a wedding, so it's not really a big deal to him. But have they not communicated about that to each other? If it's an issue of not enough people attending and she wants a big wedding, so she's overcompensating with strangers, there's communication missing here. There should be a bit of a balance. Also very odd for her to invite this person solely for that reason. Do they still keep in touch? It sounded like no. Or if they do, he doesn't know about it, which is also sketchy. Little sus. A little bit sus. Not the asshole. Ooh, this one's a good one. Not the asshole, but why are you getting married when you aren't able to problem solve this? In any relationship where you're about to marry them, you should be able, if you have an issue like this come up, or any issue at all come up, you have to be able to sit down and talk about it. Talk it out and reach a solution and get to a resolve. You need to be able to do that fundamentally before you marry a person. Have a conversation with her. Ask her why it's important. This is exactly what I said. Ask her why it's important to her to invite this guy. It's super weird and she owes you an explanation. You should also put the wedding planning on hold and get yourselves into premarital counseling to figure out how to have a healthy marriage because you are setting yourself up for a toxic dynamic. They fundamentally cannot communicate. You need to be able to have a conversation before throwing down ultimatums. Ultimatums are not healthy in a relationship. Don't be playing cards. This is not a game. If you find yourself in a situation where your partner doesn't listen to you unless you're issuing ultimatums, that relationship is destined to fail. Couldn't have said it better myself, and I did actually say a lot of that myself. Where's my tiara? Thank you for subscribing. CO2 Zombie, thank you for subbing. Thank you, dudes. That's 100% almost exactly what I said. And hit the nail right on the head. All of these relationship ones come down to you're starting like the foundation of a marriage without even having basic communication. Are you going to have communication issues maybe later on as specific issues come up and you don't know how to navigate that specific thing? Maybe. You got to know you're with somebody that you can figure it out with, though, no matter what. Fundamentally, that's a big problem. Manders, bring it in for a hug. I don't think people on this subreddit have ever talked to their partners. On that note, let's go have a little check-in with Are the Straights Okay? Hey, we're gonna do it in the form of a photo. Why do I have hiccups? Let's check in on the straight relationships, because that's usually where the issues are. Are they okay? Why is this breaking? I will ignore him all day, so he knows I am mad. Him. This is the best day of my life. Do you even like your partner? Do you even like each other, and why are you together? Because I don't understand. Why are you together? Why are you in this relationship if you don't even like each other? Number one, don't ignore people as a way of letting them know how you feel. That's the exact opposite is going to happen. That's exactly how you don't get what you want. It's also hella childish. And when you say, my wife's ignoring me, great, this is the best day ever. Why are you with her? Why are you doing this to yourself? You just look like an idiot. The straights are not okay. This is just moral of the story. And they just fundamentally don't know how to talk. Why are you with someone if you can't talk to them? Why would you want to be with someone that you can't talk to? Just openly and honestly. Also, here's another one from the straights. Are the straights okay? A girl saying bruh or bro is very unattractive. It kills your wife potential. Bruh, I don't care if you think I have wife potential. Can I get a bruh in chat? Can I get a bruh? Aren't you straight in a romantic way? This was the conversation we were having earlier. I am hetero-romantic in the straight sense, but I am not heterosexual. So I think the moral of the Are the Straights Okay is they really mean like cis heterosexual straight. I don't think they mean asexual hetero-romantic people usually, and I don't think they mean, maybe sometimes though, who knows, but am I straight? kind of, but am I also LGBT and not heterosexual? Also, yes. So that ends up confusing people. So I just like to say no. Because I don't want to have that conversation every time somebody asks if I'm straight, because it's not a straight answer. No pun intended. All right. Let's see. Uh-oh. Am I the asshole for not allowing my religious daughter to meet my wife and kids? Okay, I read one and I'm really confused by the title. And it's been marked as not the asshole by Reddit. Am I the asshole for getting a white chocolate cake? Oh no, you know what? I don't want to read that one. The title was, I just realized that what I didn't understand about it. Am I the asshole for getting a white chocolate cake for my daughter's first communion when my special needs nephew is allergic to chocolate? And Reddit said not the asshole. I thought it said something else when I read it in the first place anyway. But it's not a relationship once we're going to leave. We're going to leave it alone. Ooh, update. Am I the asshole for telling everyone to leave me the fuck alone? Well, this depends on why you're telling them. This depends. Where you going? She's on the prowl. She's on the prowl looking. There's a big difference between people who are straight and the straights. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference. Because I don't think they mean primarily it's cis heterosexual relationships. It's not. It's not anything else usually. The straights. It's more of a way of being than just being straight when you're the straights. Okay, so this is an update one. How do I find, where is the original? How do I find the original? I don't even know what it's about, so I don't want to, yeah, we'll skip it. I just want to read, am I the asshole for not allowing my religious daughter to meet my wife and kids? Let's see. Let's see. Dude. Can you explain more what it means to be heteroromantic but not heterosexual? One is about sexual attraction and one is about romantic attraction. They are two separate attractions. People experience them all differently. And you can be heterosexual. Your sexual orientation might be different from your romantic orientation, right? So I am asexual. I am not heterosexual. But I'm not aromantic because I do experience romantic attraction. I would call myself heteroromantic because they're two separate things. They're different. It is confusing though. We'll talk about this. We'll talk about this more. I want to answer lots of questions about that too. But let me read this one because this one could be spicy. When I'm 37, I kind of want to see what my cat's doing also, though, really quick, because she's doing a thing. She's being a weirdo. And I want to know why. Oh, you're not being weird. Good girl. All right, I'm sorry I bothered you. She just went to lay in the living room on the couch. She's not even being weird at all. Those parrots that showed up on the first day of Pride Month, first of all, what a beautiful moment for the gays. Second of all, they've been back every single day. I've never seen them ever in my life, never anywhere in this entire town, and not at all since I moved here several months ago. So I don't know if they escaped somewhere or they just suddenly migrated here for the first time ever. But every morning I hear the flock of them. There's like a dozen of them. I saw the whole pack go fly by. And now I know how to know when they're around because the way they sound is super particular, like specific shrieking bird noises, unlike any other bird I've ever heard. So now I can hear when they're around. All right. They're making the birds gay. Am I the asshole for not allowing my religious daughter to meet my wife and kids? Okay. When I, 37 female, was 18, I had a baby that I named Alice after my grandmother, but I couldn't keep her and had to give her up. Since then, I've learned a lot about myself. I came out of the closet, I married an amazing woman, and have given birth twice more to our amazing kids. Alice has always been in my heart, but I've never really wanted to meet her because I don't owe her anything and she doesn't owe me anything. I just thought it'd be a lot of pain for us. In January, Alice reached out to me, and I just couldn't help but agree to see what kind of young woman she's become. Okay. Where's H texting me? What is this? Oh, we're gonna go to a collectibles show. Where they have like Pokemon cards and collectible things. It's cool. And not magazines, comics. Cool. We're gonna go one day. Anyway. Okay. You are completely and utterly allowed to give up a child to adoption, if that is the right course of action at that time, and also want no contact and have a no contact relationship. That's okay, I think. In a way, I was wrong, because she's a very intelligent young woman, and seeing her smile is the best feeling in the world. But I was also right, because she's religious due to her adoptive parents, and I don't know if I can introduce her to my wife. Understandable. Alice had prayed in front of me. She wears religious symbols and has told me her belief is strong. All of this is stuff that triggers my wife because of how religion has played a part in her upbringing. I do not want a debate on whether religion's right. I personally believe in God. Alice knows I have a wife, and even though she refers to her as my partner, she has said that she doesn't have a problem with it. Yesterday, I met with Alice, and at the end, she asked me when she could come to my home and meet my family, and was disappointed when I said not yet. I was speaking with my ex, Alice's father, on when he could come back from England to meet her like she wants. The topic came back to my wife, and he told me that I was wrong to deny Alice her and my kids, because they're family too. He told me to not use my wife as an excuse because she's a big girl and can handle it. Am I being an asshole and not letting Alice meet my family? Have you asked your partner? Have you gotten to that part yet? It sounds like you're avoiding bringing it up to her because the religious part is a sensitive subject, but I'm feeling like there's a skipped part where you haven't communicated with your partner about it and what your feelings are about it. Have we communicated? Do we start there? Talk to your partner and see how she feels about it. Explain to her, this is my daughter from a previous relationship that I gave up. I'm sure she already knows all of that. I would hope she already knows all of that. And she wants to meet you and our kids. But she is incredibly religious because of her adoptive parents and is very strong in her beliefs. She knows that we are wives. How do you feel? And she wants to meet you, and maybe it'll be fine. Maybe your partner will be like, okay, thank you for telling me that. I can prepare myself emotionally for how it might end up going, and I can, be ready, or if she doesn't want to, then bring your daughter Alice to meet your kids and just express that your wife doesn't want to and she doesn't have to be there. Yeah, the daughter Alice hasn't done anything yet. She hasn't used her religion against you. She said even specifically that she is okay with them. So I think she's just I think she's scared of what the scenario could end up as. She's imagining all of the worst case scenarios. And to be prepared for that is probably a good idea. But I think she needs to talk to her partner about it. Although the father, he has no business telling her what she should be doing in this situation. He has no place telling her that she owes a meeting with her wife and kids to her oldest daughter. He told me I was wrong to deny Alice to her other siblings, half-siblings. He needs to maybe butt out, actually. I think he needs to butt out because, like she said, they aren't owed, but you need to communicate to see where everyone's at. Are they comfortable? Is everybody comfortable? Are you the only one uncomfortable? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it and see where we're at. But, it probably will end up being just fine. It sounds like you have a lovely, amazing wife, and I think once you talk it through with her, she'll be able to offer a lot of support and make you feel better about it even, and we'll see. We'll see. But then Alice, if it comes down to it that this woman's wife does not want to meet Alice, Alice has to be okay with that. She has to accept that. She can't just force her way into a family that she wasn't a part of. She has her own family. I get what her wants are, but I think all of that just needs to be communicated amongst each other to make sure everyone's comfortable, boundaries are respected, no one's feeling pushed or forced or uncomfortable. Yep, I think that's about it. I think that's it. Josie, thank you for the Prime. Exalted Wolf, thank you for subscribing. I don't know how old Alice is. I don't think that's in here. Well, actually, wait, let me do some deducing real quick because she's 19. I couldn't do it fast enough in my head and I'm embarrassed about it, but she is 37, the mother, and when she was 18 had a baby. So Alice is 19 years old. I think you gotta communicate that whole thing through. Everyone needs to be okay with what other people's boundaries end up being and just talk it out. I think actually you're in a very comfortable and safe place to do so because Alice said she knows that you are wives. Maybe she refers to her as your partner. Whatever. It sounds like she's okay with that, at least enough to want to meet your wife and your kids together, so maybe it'll be just fine. Maybe it'll be perfectly fine. Okay. All right, let's see. I want to read this one. It's not necessarily a relationship one. Am I the asshole for refusing to buy equal gifts for my children? I want to change the vibe of the music. It keeps hitting a point where it's just a little bit too slow and just somber. Beliefs aren't an attack and differences are okay. Therapy might be needed. Maybe some family therapy. Beliefs definitely not necessarily an attack. I 100% and completely understand and is valid a bit of defense against it just because of what inherently certain religions teach. I'm completely valid in understanding. But you can talk about it. You can talk to each other and find out. But I get the guard being up for it because do we blame that? Do we blame anyone for having a guard up when that's the topic? I don't think so. But it sounds like she's willing to communicate in the first place, Alice, at least. So, yeah. Yep. Especially with where her wife is coming from, where I think what her childhood was religion was a bit more aggressive and harsh on her and was a bad thing in her life for her past, and that's why she feels the way. I think she's being defensive of her wife and protective. But talk to her. Maybe she's okay, and maybe it'll be just perfectly fine. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to buy equal gifts for my children? My daughter, 14, wrote a giant list for her birthday, but at the top was something called a Dyson Airwrap. She's quite into TikTokers and YouTube and had a bunch of things related to that list. Listed. I was tempted to get what she asked for, but when I saw the price tag, I backed off. Dysons are expensive. They are ridiculously expensive. I do not have a single Dyson item. I believe it is entirely and utterly unnecessary if you do not want to spend the money on it. It's so not, you do not need it. If you have the money and you want it, go for it. Do it. You do not need it ever. There are so many other things you can get that do not cost as much money. Although they work really well. They're also really good at what they do, but you don't need them necessarily. Do I want one? Yeah, but I just can't ever bring myself to spend the money on it. There's so many things I'd rather spend my money on. I feel like that sort of price for what boils down to a hairdryer isn't a suitable thing for a girl her age, 14. I agree. I don't think a 14-year-old needs a Dyson Airwrap. I think she can have a nice blow dryer that is not, let's Google. That is not, if it's this particular one I'm looking at, $600. For a 14-year-old, a $600 birthday gift, where I'm assuming she's turning 15. You know what? I have been given one birthday gift that was around that price range. And that was my 18th birthday. That was a big birthday. So, I don't know. Oop, I just punched you. I'm sorry. I don't know about just a regular old birthday, a $600 hair dryer, but okay. Dyson Airwrap dries and can specifically curl. I just know it for being a hair device that works. They work really well. Listen, they're expensive, but I get why. They're really good at what they do. But if you don't have one, don't feel like you're missing out on like this thing that you need. There's lots of really good hair diffusers that do a lot. I don't know what the function. I don't know, $600. A 14-year-old doesn't need it. If it's money that you do not have to spend, if you do, go for it. I don't care. Instead, I purchased some of the more minor things on her list, got her what looked to be a nice hair dryer so she wouldn't have to use the family one, and some hair rollers. That's nice. You know what? I would hope that the 14... First of all right, I'm feeling a little judgy, only simply on the fact that this 14-year-old turning 15 gave you a list for the birthday. Unless this is a list where it is understood between the both of you that you're not getting the whole list. You're just going to get some of the things. These are options. I have never given a birthday list. Christmas list? Yes. Birthday list? No, I pick one thing. I get one thing. I always got one thing from my parents. I don't have a list. I don't get to give, maybe, I didn't even ever give a list of like multiple options for the one thing. I just usually picked one thing. And that was the thing I got. Or maybe they'd get me little things, like a couple small, very inexpensive things that my mom just got as a surprise that I didn't ask for that she thought I would like. Little. Not a $600 hair dryer on a list of all other things. Okay, you got to give a birthday list. That's impressive. And she got multiple things off of this list, some of the minor things, and still a nice hair dryer that isn't the family one, which is a very nice move. I'm assuming that a 14-year-old knows she's just giving options of like, these are things I would like. And here's a $600 hair dryer, just in case you feel like getting that one thing. You know, maybe the mom decides to pick one thing off the list and it's the most expensive and none of the others, but that's just expensive. When she opened her gift, she was immediately sullen and went silent. Uh-oh. She didn't bother to thank me or her mother. Oh my God, this whole time I thought this was the mother talking. It's the father. I didn't realize. They didn't say at the beginning, so how am I to know? Then eventually went off to her room and didn't come out for a while. Later that week, an argument broke out over her behavior, and she went off at everyone over what she considered a grand injustice. Were those her words? This 14-year-old? Okay. What happened? You're her parents. How did this happen? How did we get here? Sunray, thank you for the prime. First of all, maybe we start with the fact that you let her give a birthday list. I'm just saying. You're her parents. How'd she get here? How did that happen? What happened there? Last year as a reward for doing well on his exams, I purchased my son Aaron, 16, a Lego set he had been coveting for quite a while. He has had a lifelong obsession with Lego and had been struggling with depression and anxiety a lot over the entire year. Aaron not only completing his exams, but doing so well, inspired me to get him something I knew he had been eyeing all year long. The set was expensive. I'll admit it cost more than the hair dryer. He's also 16. And he's finishing big, I see. Not equal. They're not equal. Okay, I get it. It really perked him up and I felt like he needed it. My daughter feels that it's a crime that I got Aaron something that I see what happened. I think I see what's happening. My daughter feels it's a crime that I got Aaron something that unprompted while not going above and beyond for her own birthday. Because it wasn't Aaron's birthday. It was just a gift for his exams. And a more expensive one than the hair dryer. Sounds like you guys have a bit of money. Just a little bit. Enough to be doing, a little bit maybe lavish gifts more often than just special occasions even. Because my mother, not even for my birthday, would spend on any regular birthday a $600. The Lego's more than that? Okay. Aaron deserved it. I agree with you guys, but I think I know what happened here. And I think the parents have to work something out now. They got to get family therapy. They got to fix it. I think that she's being incredibly immature and the situations just aren't the same. But she's still going around acting like a kicked dog and drumming up sympathy with extended family who she felt the need to text about her plight. This isn't about the gifts. This is very obviously, to me, not about the gifts. It is not about it at all. She didn't like that you didn't buy equal gifts. She doesn't feel equal to her other sibling. I don't blame her for that. I don't think she's guilt tripping. Yeah, but where are her emotions coming from? Where is it coming from initially? She doesn't feel treated equal to her brother. Not because of the gifts. I think just overall. I think in general. And she's 15. So she's turning 15. She's at a very sensitive age. And she doesn't feel like she's being treated fairly in the household. I think outside of these gifts. I think Aaron did really well on his exams. And he's also struggling with a lot of problems. Do you know where that probably is what that's probably getting him? Which he needs. It's good attention. He's needing a lot of additional attention to care for his anxiety, his depression, his struggles. He's 16. He's taking big exams. She isn't feeling like she's getting enough because he's needing more. And I think as a parent, you need to now go sit and talk with your daughter. How can we make you feel like you are just as appreciated and loved as your brother? Because you are. And we would do this for you anytime that you are struggling. He needs extra help and attention. What can we do for you so that you are feeling like you are getting a sufficient amount of attention? I doubt it's the $600 blow dryer. I don't think that's really the issue. I think she's just feeling like she is not, maybe her brother's on a pedestal. And this is very obviously not about the gift. Yeah. And also, you need to start, if you haven't already, because it doesn't seem like it, having a relationship with your daughter where you can sit her down and talk to her about it and ask her why she feels this way. Just start with that. Why do you feel like why do you feel like it's a crime, if those are her words, that Aaron got something so lavish and expensive, more than the hairdryer she wanted for her birthday, for something that wasn't an occasion that usually would prompt a gift? This is what I think. She probably isn't getting gifts like that whenever she does well in her exams. And I think it's just specifically these exams. And he's been having a hard time. He's needing extra attention. And I think the daughter's feeling like she's not getting enough anymore. So you got to start with communicating that with your daughter. Maybe get some family therapy, because I don't think it's about the hairdryer. But that's just me. That's just me, though. You'd make a great therapist. It is my one and only want in this life. It's my like 35 plus plan or 40 plus plan. Wherever I'm at, we'll see. In between the ages of 35 and 40, I may very well, as an adult, higher level adult Shelby, want to become a therapist in my old age. Not right now, though. I think that would be cool. I think that'd be real cool and neat. Suffering and Sorrow, thank you for subscribing. But also remember, I am not a therapist or counselor or professional in any way, shape, or form. And I have no idea what the answers to these problems are. All I can say safely is that therapy probably would help. I'm not in the therapy, though. I would love to get the education to know what do you do next? Go to therapy, but like what's the therapist going to tell you need to start doing? Honestly, communication you have to work on, obviously. But how do you do that? How do you start? You get to learn all that in school. That's my 40-year-old plan. And if it's 8 years of school, I'll only be 48 becoming a therapist. What else am I going to be doing? That's my like long-term goal, maybe. It'll all depend on where I'm at in that time period of my life. There's not enough info in these to solve them anyway. Yeah, it's very short stories that we're picking little itty-bitty details out of a major story that is these children's and parents' entire lives. We're filling in quite a hell of a blank that, honestly, you really shouldn't do. But because it's Reddit, am I the asshole? It's what they want us to do. It's what they're asking of us. My brother started to be rewarded for grades because he was really struggling, but I felt it was unfair because I worked to have good grades, and I talked with my parents about it, and now I get a small reward, and I'm content with that. That is a flawless problem solve between parent and child. It's the same as all these relationships. You need to be able to have that foundation of communication so you can problem solve together so that everyone is happy and comfortable. And also understand that sometimes some people need extra help and they're going to need extra attention, and that might take some attention away from you, and in that time it's necessary. But you know, communicate with your parents so you know you're still loved, and you get a little treat now. Look at that. That's great. Oh, I didn't read this one. Am I the asshole? I told my best friend's boyfriend that he planned on proposing to her. Here's the title is written either incorrectly. I told my best friend's boyfriend. She told the boyfriend that he planned on proposing to her. You told him that he plans to propose to your best friend? You told him what he's planning to do. I don't understand. I don't understand. My wedding is in 2 weeks, and my best friend, let's call her Rita, is one of my bridesmaids. Rita and her boyfriend have been together for 3 years, and lately he's talking about how he wants to propose. He also asked me for advice on what kinds of rings Rita would like, and generally he has involved me in a lot of his proposal process. I'm of the belief, first I would hope that if you're about to propose, you've already had a conversation about a life together with your partner, so you're in a position where you know without a doubt, period, because you already had the conversation, that she will say yes. Also, I like when I like when you get to pick out your own ring for your own engagement ring. I like when you can ask your partner and be like, what kinds of styles? Because, you know, one day I will ask you because we've already had the conversation and I know you will say yes. So one day I'll ask you, let's go pick a ring you like. I'm of that belief. Mostly because I want to pick my own. He just got the ring now, and he's very nervous, and he was telling me he's anxious because the proposal will happen soon, and he's very excited about it. I see why the title is what it is now. I kept asking where the proposal would be, and he said it's going to be a surprise. Then he started asking me if he could have a speech at the wedding, and I found this to be a very weird request because only my maid of honor, my sister, my parents, and my in-laws will have speeches, and even my friends have not requested a speech, so it was weird coming from him. I declined because I felt awkward about it and not comfortable. He was very upset and would stop texting or calling me to talk about the proposal after that. Uh-oh. Also, if you're planning on doing that in the first place, which you shouldn't, you definitely ask them before you just... He was planning on surprise doing it? Oh my God, don't do that. No. A few days ago, another one of my bridesmaids, who is also friends with both Rita and I, told me that Rita's boyfriend plans on proposing to Rita at the wedding. That's why he was insisting on having a speech, so he could do it during his speech. Nope. 1, you don't do that. 2, you don't do that without at least asking. She would have told you no. Because 1, you don't do that. But 2, you definitely don't do that without permission. Because maybe there's a scenario where you get permission, you definitely always ask first. They probably will say no because you shouldn't do that. Maybe they'll say yes. You know what? I could see, here's a hypothetical because I like playing devil's advocate and like seeing the other side, but this is definitely not the case here at all. If it was a wedding between parents and it's a remarriage and you explicitly got permission because you asked first, as you should definitely do. Even thinking to ask is a bit insane, but if you're gonna do it, definitely ask first. So that you can get the no. But also if you're given explicit permission because maybe it's your parents are getting remarried and you want to propose at their remarriage because you know it would mean a lot for your parents to see the proposal at this big occasion. Maybe that's a situation where you can ask and may get permission. Don't here. Don't do it here. And if you were even thinking about it, definitely ask and be like, so what are your thoughts on me proposing at your wedding? And she'll immediately shut you down and you'll never think to do that ever again because you shouldn't do that. Yeah, okay. So don't do that. And definitely don't do it as a surprise or a secret. That's like Just don't do it, though. Don't do it. I immediately confronted him and told him I'm extremely angry and disappointed how he tried to trick me into this and how he thinks this is a good idea and he could just ask and then I could decide whether or not I'm comfortable with it. I don't want to say that you shouldn't even ask because you shouldn't even be thinking of doing that in the first place. You know what? You're in love. You're in the moment. Definitely ask. They'll shut you down and put you back in your place real quick, though. He said he knew I'd say no. Then don't do it. Oh, no. And that's why he didn't tell me anything. Well, that just makes it worse. You see how that makes that worse, right? You knew she'd say no. You get that. That's worse, right? This made me even more angry. I told him to not try anything or else I'll have no choice but to uninvite him. He didn't believe I'd uninvite him because he thought I'd be afraid to disappoint Rita, and he literally laughed at my face and said my hands are tied and there's nothing I can do about it or else I'll hurt Rita's feelings and I'll have to offer her an explanation. Oh boy, I hope she does that, though, because I would. You damn right I'll explain it to her. Then I then uninvited him, and I told Rita he's not welcome anymore. And she was mad and kept asking me why. I would tell her. I would just straight up tell her. So I told her what he was planning to do. And just like that, I ruined the surprise that her boyfriend wanted to propose. That surprise was not about to happen anymore, though. So I think it's okay to tell her. Because it wasn't about to happen anymore at that point. That's for sure. Also, when you're about to propose, that person should definitely know that that's something that's going to be happening at some point. So it shouldn't be, that much of a shock. Like, oh, he's thinking of proposing. What a shock that we've never spoken about doing that ever before. That's not how that should go. Okay. Rita is mad at both me and her boyfriend and said that I could just make up a lie on why I uninvited. No, what? No. Make up a lie on why I uninvited him and tell her the truth after? I'm going to speak as you. Or just for you, rather. You would have been mad. For the friend? Okay, wait. Rita would have been mad if you lied too. She's mad now, but she's saying that you should have lied to her and told her the truth later. After he would have proposed. No, you would have been mad then too. Also, how was he going to propose at that point if he wasn't at the wedding anymore? I don't think that's what should have happened at all, but that I now ruined one of the best surprises she'd have in her life. You had no idea he was thinking of ever asking you to marry you, ever, at any point? You had no idea. I think that's a red flag. I think that's, if it's that much of a surprise. Also, she should be like, you're right, he should not be asking about proposing at your wedding. That's so weird. But oh my God, he's thinking of proposing soon. We have been together a long time and we've talked about it. That's how that should have gone. I feel so bad right now and I don't know if I did the right thing, but at the same time, I believe I was in a lose-lose. You were in a lose-lose. She was going to be mad at you no matter what, because she would have been like, you lied to me? Also, I don't think any lie would have sufficed in this situation to make her okay with you uninviting him to the wedding at all. I just don't think that's true. I believe I was in a lose-lose situation and I'd still get blamed even if I made up a lie and revealed the truth later. You definitely would have, I think. I definitely think that's what would have happened. Both of them suck. Why do they both suck? Maybe they're right for each other. Maybe that's why they're getting married. Rita and the boyfriend. First of all, to even want to propose to somebody at her wedding, on her wedding day. What's going on? You shouldn't be thinking that, but you thought it. All right, it happened. We're here. You ask first. You don't want to ask her because you know she'll say no? Okay, you don't do it then. Then don't do it if you know she doesn't want you to do it. That's her wedding. It's the self-awareness of, I didn't ask you because I knew you would say no. So I was just going to do it anyway against your wishes on your wedding day. And now Rita's mad. Oh my God. Why are these people your friends? How did that end up happening? I don't think Rita would have accepted any lie or any story at all. She didn't accept this one. I don't think there's a single story or scenario you could have made up that would have made Rita okay with you uninviting her significant other because she's mad about the truth. She would have not been okay with any lie either. If she was not okay with the truth, is what that tells me, at least. That's what I'm thinking about Rita. Rita should be very mad at him, apologetic to her friend who's getting married and just had to have like a really awkward conversation with her boyfriend that has no... Also, it's just a dude. It's just a dude. He's not the soon-to-be wife's best friend. Her wife, his girlfriend is. Who are you to the person getting married? Why do you think that's a place for you to propose? You're not, you're just a guy. You're not related, you're not friends, you're not best friends, you're not close. You're just the boyfriend of her best friend. Why do you think that's the appropriate place to propose? You're just some dude at that wedding. For him to have the thought in the first place is really weird and suspicious and awkward. For someone who's related to have the thought, you shouldn't do it. But hey, if you have the thought, we're here now. We move forward by asking. But who are you? Who even are you? Okay. I'm going to read one more. And maybe check on the straights for some fun. Are the straights okay? And we'll wrap up. Am I the asshole for sitting on my girlfriend's glasses? Just no, if that was all that really happened. But I think we know that's not what all that really happened. I just got home from a junk boat party. If you don't know that term, it's a boat that fits about 30 to 40 people. And you go day drinking for about 8 hours. Am I the only one that just doesn't sound like fun? Am I the only one that doesn't sound like a good time? 8 hours on a boat? Sure. But day drinking for the entire 8 hours? I don't know, man. Maybe sips. Maybe a few drinks throughout the course of the 8 hours, like over time with a lot of water in between. Because boat, also like what kind of activities are we doing? Is it just drinking? Because there needs to be some other things going on, right? Is there shuffleboard on the boat? Are there things to do? Or is it just alcohol for 8 hours with 30 to 40 people? Maybe it's just, you know what? That's fun for people. And you drink and you dance. 8 hours, though. If it was drinking and dancing only, and for maybe 4 hours, I'd get it. 8 hours, day drinking into the night. And all you have to do is party and dance. Check their livers. I mean, hey, you having a fun time at that 8 hour event because that's what is fun for you? More power to you. And just, get out there and have a good time for I'm going to be at home reading a book. I'm going to be at home. Why did I say reading a book? Ew. I'll be at home playing Minecraft. I'll be at home playing a video game and you get out there and do the thing that you have fun doing. But why did I say read a book? Who even am I? I accidentally just set on my girlfriend's sunglasses that cost about $500. That's it. That's all that happened. She hasn't talked to me since. For context, okay, there's 5 points of context that you're suspicious. I know I'm not finishing reading it and I'm jumping to conclusions, but the fact that you got home from a boat party after 8 hours of partying and sat on her glasses by accident that are $500 and she hasn't talked to you since, and then you're like, here's some context, 5 bullet points that are each a paragraph long. 1, I told her yesterday that I'm not taking my expensive prescription sunglasses because I lost my last ones on a junk, and a junk is prime time for glasses to get lost or broken. I recommended she do the same. But you're at home now. But you went home. You're at home now and you sat on the couch. Okay. All right. How often do you do this? This is a regular occurrence. I mean, hey, maybe that's fun. 2, we knew beforehand that the weather wouldn't be great and the sea would be choppy. I'm confused. You said you just got home. Maybe it happened on the boat and he just worded it really awfully because it sounds like I just got home and I accidentally sat on her glasses. Or is what you meant I just got home from accidentally sitting on my girlfriend's glasses? I'm confused. He is also 8 hours deep in drinking. 3, she put her sunglasses on the bench where people sit. Okay, it happened on the boat. Conclusion, it happened on the boat. He just wrote it stupid. She put her sunglasses on the bench where people sit. There's a table right in front of the bench. 4, I was about to sit down and I saw the sunglasses and tried to move them out of the way. 5, the choppiness of the ocean threw me off balance and I fell onto the bench. End result was that I spun the fall into a turn and sat on and broke the glasses. I offered to pay 25% of the cost of new glasses and stated the reasons above. Your relationship sounds like it sucks. I'm just going to say. Not because you spend 8 hours on a boat drinking. That's not the problem. First of all, who offers to... They both have multiple pairs of expensive prescription glasses. I'm going off of this and this alone. I think they have money. I think this is rich people activities that are happening. And he's only offering to pay 25% of her broken glasses. If it was me and I sat on somebody's glasses, $500 or not, and it's an accident, I'm going to offer to pay the 100% of it. Unless I'm like absolutely unable to afford that at all, if that's my situation. I honestly, I would be like, I'll pay it all back over time. I cannot pay it all to you right now. I'm so sorry. I know it was an accident, but the accident was my responsibility. Now I am responsible for what happened. Even if it was an accident, it's $500 is expensive. But also, this is your girlfriend, and she's really mad at an accident. In one scenario, I'd probably, if I was the person who had the glasses, who sat on the glasses, I would offer to pay it 100%. Just be like, I'm so sorry. Let me just buy you a new pair. It's no big deal. You both sound like you have money. You have multiple pairs of expensive prescription glasses. But 2, you're in a relationship. If I'm the one now who had the glasses be sat on, and you said, I'm so sorry it was an accident, but let me buy you a new pair of glasses 100%. I would then say, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. I'd be either of those 2 people in this situation, but it sounds like you both suck. And I'm making a wild assumption based off of this very short Am I the Asshole? But it sounds like you both suck in this relationship together. I didn't even finish. There's another paragraph. Also, the way that you boil down, I don't like how you put your context in bullet points after the full story and then adding context. You just could have told the full story, like in the timeline, like just tell the story instead of adding very important context after the storytelling in bullet points to make it make sense. I don't know. That's a weird way of presenting here, but that's fine. Your presentation's weak. I'm just going to say that. Written poorly. I thought you sat on the couch after coming home and broke them. I didn't get it. Did you write this while you were still drunk? Are you hungover now? Have some water. She's demanding I pay the full cost and refusing to talk to me until I do so. You both suck. This is an awful relationship. There's communication problems. You have none. You have no communication. There's just exactly 0 communication happening. Neither of us are all right. You know what? I'm wrong. I was wrong. Everything that I said still stands, but neither of us are particularly wealthy, so these glasses are a big chunk of income for both of us. My bad. It sounds like you both have just one very expensive pair of glasses each, and so you don't bring them on special occasions because you can't afford to have them replaced because they're very expensive. Why are you buying them in the first place? You know what? That's fine, though. It's fine. You wanted one nice thing, and if you were to break them and have to buy another one, it's way too big of a chunk of your income to be able to do that. But do they not have a warranty? Actually, though, honestly, she shouldn't have brought them then if she has one nice expensive pair of glasses that she cannot afford to replace. And they don't have a warranty, I guess. But usually when you buy a $500 pair of glasses, maybe they're very old. Maybe they were a gift. Maybe she didn't even spend the money on them. Honestly, we don't know. I judged way too fast. Except for when I said you both suck. You do both suck. You shouldn't be together. Usually I'll say you guys need communication help because you have bad communication and should get therapy. You just, I don't know what gives me the vibes that you just both suck together and shouldn't. Just shouldn't. I don't know. She shouldn't have brought them, but you sitting on them was an accident. If I'm you, okay, so he can't afford to pay 100%, so he offers to pay 25%. If I was him in that situation, I would say, let me save up for a while. It might take time. It might take several months, but let me save up enough money and then let me buy you a new pair of nice glasses. You can pick them out. You know, it'll be a nice thing. It'll be a nice gift for you. I'm very happy to save up as long as it's okay that you wait. I'm so sorry I sat on them by accident on a boat where I lost my balance. But That's what I would do if I was him. Now, if I'm her, and that's what I said, or that's what was said to me, I would say, it's okay. It was an accident. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. This is what I would want to happen. I would say I would want them to do that. I think that's a really nice gesture to do that as a partner, to say, I'm going to, whether you want me to or not, because I'd probably be like, no, it's not a big deal. It's okay. But it would be such a nice gesture as a partner to say, I feel really badly. It was an accident. I know you understand that. But I want to now set aside every month a certain amount of money to eventually save up and buy you a new pair. And then to just do that and not end up not doing it because your partner said, it's okay. It's such a nice gesture, though, to do that, I think. But you both sound like you suck, so maybe not. Can she now not see because her glasses are broken? What is she going to do? They are prescription. However, I will say they're prescription sunglasses. So if she does need glasses to see, I'm just going to jump to the conclusion she has a pair of regular glasses that aren't sunglasses, which is honestly really annoying. I actually am somebody that if my prescription sunglasses got broken, I would be in a real shit situation because I can't drive now, actually. Maybe that's the situation. But also, just as a couple, you guys still suck. I'm just going to say that. You do definitely suck at communicating with each other, and just you immediately could not communicate about it. Just instantly. That's a problem. If her situation is one, she cannot afford to replace them because it's very expensive. Although, I would just say maybe get a cheap pair with prescription in them if you absolutely need them. Like if you're me, if my prescription sunglasses broke, I have a backup pair, a really old, cheap backup pair. If I lost both or they both became broken, I can't drive. I actually can technically, but I wouldn't feel comfortable driving. I'm allowed. I'm not technically legally required to drive with glasses, but it's hard to read signs. Things are a little blurry. Wouldn't feel comfortable driving without them. So I'd be stuck without being able to drive until I got a replacement pair. But you don't have to have them be $500. Does it suck that it happened because you had nice glasses and they got broken in an accident? Yeah. This is your partner, though. Your partner, your team. Do you need expensive sunglasses? Like, do they need to be replaced ultimately? No. You can get a cheaper pair as a replacement. Your partner can decide, and would be a very lovely gesture, in my opinion, for them to decide to set aside money every month to save up until they can buy it. Because you're a partnership, and it's a nice thing to do for your partner, even if your partner says, it sucks, but it was an accident. I forgive you. We'll get a cheap replacement pair. We'll get a pair that looked like sunglasses are sunglasses. Cheap ones don't look different. Will it not say Gucci on the side? Maybe, sure, but I don't know. That sounds like a really sucky partnership. That's just all I gathered from it, is that this whole partnership should be thrown in the trash because you immediately started bargaining the percentage that you'll pay for it and started getting angry and yelling at each other about how she shouldn't have brought him in the first place. You should be paying 100% of it. I'm only going to pay 25% because I'm only 25% responsible. Working out the percentage is what's funny to me a little bit, but because that's what it boils down to in my head, is that you're saying 25%. One, because you can't afford to pay 100%. Maybe that's fine. But it makes me think that you think you're only 25% responsible because these are all the factors. You put them in bullet points. So you've boiled down your responsibilities only about that much. But, I don't know. Throw the whole relationship in the trash. I don't really know. You can have the Gucci letters on a cheap pair of glasses too. True. Also, do you have eye insurance? Because check what is entailed in that. When I was under my parents' health insurance, and they had really, really good eye insurance coverage, which I was only under until I was 26. Now I'm on. That's such a weird age. Can we talk about that? You are no longer under your parents' health insurance after 26 years old. That's when you have to start being on your own, either through your work or you pay for it. I pay for mine. And so I don't have eye insurance anymore because I don't feel like paying for it. But I will eventually have to add it because, eye checkups are very important to get once a year. Anyway, when I was under my parents' insurance, we had really, 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 really good insurance. And we got, every year, $200 worth of credit for a pair of frames and then free prescription lenses put in. That's really good. You know what I got with all that $200? I spent every cent of it because I was like, if they're giving me $200 to spend on a frame, I'm not going to get a cheap frame. I'm getting a $200 frame and no less. I knew the importance of using every single cent and not letting it go back to the insurance company, because why should they have that money? Why should they have it? They shouldn't. So I would get Versace frames, Gucci frames, Juicy Couture frames, because you know what's incredibly cheap for luxury brands is glasses frames. So are they roughly $150 to $200? Yeah. 100% covered by my insurance though. So this is very much American things, by the way. But hey, you guys, you both working? Do you have eye insurance coverage with your job? Check how much money your frames are covered, because you might be able to get a nice 200 pair of prescription glasses that are luxury brand and pay exactly $0, because that's what I did. That's how actually my backup pair of prescription sunglasses is exactly that. And it's a pair of Ray-Bans. So I don't know why I said they were cheap. They look like crap though. They're plastic. They're not a good pair. And they're peeling and falling apart. But I didn't pay for them. $200 prescription Ray-Ban sunglasses, free. But maybe that's just my parents had really good insurance at the time that I was covered by. And maybe they don't. But I'm just saying check. If you got eye coverage, just check how much they cover. Because, you know, it doesn't have to be such a big expense. Even if it's just $100 covered. That's $100 you don't have to spend out of your wallet. Or maybe you're not covered at all. Because honestly, eye insurance feels like one of those ones. My insurance company, have to add eye as a separate, it's not included in like a base plan. And neither is dental. Those are ones that you opt in or out of, which you would think should just be included because everybody should be doing that. Everybody should be covering dental with insurance. And eye, which even seems less important to people because it feels like you pay for it every year and then you don't use it because either you don't have a change in your prescription or you don't have a prescription because your eyes are fine. And it feels like more of a waste. So a lot of families will just skip paying for it because it's optional. I don't think it should be optional, especially when we're already having to pay for insurance in the first place. I'm just saying I think it should be included if we're already going to be paying for it. I just had to add dental to my plan because dental's not covered. And that's ridiculous to me. That's 100% like should be basic healthcare, but it isn't even here. But okay, it's fine. Oh, straight's okay. Let's check in and then I'm gonna go. I do get my prescription updated for only $60 at Warby Parker though. This is not sponsored. I genuinely just love it. Will they be able to do like an in-depth eye exam to see if you have any like things coming up in your eyes that should be checked out? Little other problems health-wise that you should know about? No, they'll just update your prescription. That's why eye exams are very important, especially if you know you have eye diseases that run in your family like I do. So I really should be going and getting a proper eye exam from a doctor because we have a degenerative eye disease that runs in my family and Warby Parker's not going to be able to clock that. That's why those are important. But then you have to pay extra for it and this sucks. I don't have eye insurance even though my site is awful. Well, that's updating your prescription is only $60 at Warby Parker. But then actual eye insurance every year is more. So a lot of people just skip out on having it. I think I'm going to have to include it. I wonder how much just an eye exam with no issues ends up being. But then it's when an issue comes up and you're not covered. And then that's when the problem happens. Life's complicated when you're living in America. You don't have free health insurance. It's fine. What is this song? What is playing right now? All right. I'm reading a few of the straights. Are the straights okay? A few of them I honestly can't read out loud. It's just honestly way too bad. So no, they aren't. They aren't. I'm gonna be right back. I have to pee really bad, but I don't want to like rush through the end of the stream so I can go pee. I'm just gonna pee and come back, and we'll slowly exit the stream with Are the Straights Okay? Little chat because people were asking questions earlier that I'd love to answer, but I'm gonna be right back. Hey. Welcome back. Me. Now I'm putting off ending the stream because I know when I go clean I might find something that I don't want to find. Now I'm afraid there's a mouse. Maybe it's a cockroach. It could be a cockroach because we got those. We have those here. All right. Are the straights okay? No. The conclusion's always no. So these aren't even fun to read. They're not even fun or funny, any of the jokes. They're just bad and also sad, and I feel bad for you. The snoring of men is the karma of women who don't shut up all day. They're not okay. They're not okay. They're just not. It's just, they aren't. Yeah, they're not okay. Straights marrying someone they like challenge. Go. And there's a picture of someone. My husband and I agreed when we got married to never go to bed angry. So far, we haven't slept one night on this trip. I think what they're implying is because they've been fighting all night instead of because they're still angry, so they don't go to bed. They're just fighting still. When do you marry him if you don't like him? What is happening? I don't get it. Women are the happiest when they are nurturing and looking after their family. Men are the happiest when they are protecting and providing for their family. I thought that we all were at a point where we knew people have different wants and different things make different people happy. It's not a women and men thing, it's a people thing. I thought we knew that. I thought we knew that now. Yeah, no. I guess some of us don't know that some people just sometimes different things make different people happy. He hasn't gotten that memo. Someone forgot to send it to him. I don't want to read this one, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. On my neighborhood app of middle-aged suburban conservatives, somehow it gets progressively worse as you read. This will be what we end on, unfortunately. This is the post. Men are just happy people. This needs no explanation and is a fun read, no matter your gender. We'll see about that. Men are just happier people. What do you expect from such simple creatures? Your last name stays put. The garage is all yours. Wedding plans take care of themselves. Chocolate is just another snack. You can never be pregnant. You can wear a white t-shirt to a water park. You can wear no shirt to a water park. He's not wrong there. Unless you're in New York. You are allowed to be topless in New York as a woman. Fun fact. So you actually can do that there. Okay. Car mechanics tell you the truth. The world is your urinal. You never have to drive to another gas station restroom because this one is just too icky. They're not wrong yet, actually. I mean, no, some of them are wrong, but some of them are obviously like male stereotypes and a lot of misogyny and I mean, you're just pointing out all of the issues with inequality, but okay. Don't pee everywhere, though. That's definitely not. That shouldn't be happening. Stop doing that. You don't have to stop and think of which way to turn a nut on a bolt. Oh, I didn't know that just came with being a man. I didn't know that one was just built in. Okay. Wrinkles add character. Wedding dress is $5,000. Tux rental is $100. People never stare at your chest when you're talking to them. They're right. But that's the problem. that's part of the problem. It's not a good thing. These are all not good things. New shoes don't cut, blister, or mangle your feet. That's just not even true. That's just not even true. Lots of shoes for men and women do that. Anybody ever own a pair of Doc Martens? They are for everyone, and they will always give you blisters because you got to break those babies in. Okay, phone conversations are over in 30 seconds flat. That just doesn't sound fun. That just sounds like you have no good relationships where you can be on the phone and talk for longer than 30 seconds. But, you know, you do you. Maybe it's what you like. You know stuff about tanks. I didn't know that one was built into. A 5-day vacation requires only one suitcase. You can open all your own jars. You know, he's right. I don't know stuff about tanks. I don't. I guess they didn't put that into my programming like they do for men. I guess. Is that it? Oh no, there's a page 2, 3, and 4. There's only page 1. All right, okay, we're on this. They said fun for any gender. We're going. We're continuing to read it. So far, they've just said a lot of issues with society between the differences of how men and women are treated. And they haven't been wrong entirely, but okay. You get extra credit for the slightest act of thoughtfulness. That's not how that's... If someone forgets to invite you, he or she can still be your friend. Your underwear is $8.95 for a 3-pack. What I will say is, though, the Hanes pack of ladies' underwear is also cheap and fun patterns and super comfy. So, you know, maybe we buy more of those because, honestly, Victoria's Secret, overpriced and not worth it. 2 pairs of shoes are more than enough. You almost never have strap problems in public. You are unable to see wrinkles in your clothes. You just said wrinkles cause... Or not one paragraph ago, you said wrinkles add character. Can you see them or not? Everything on your face stays in its original color. Oh, did he mean wrinkles to your face before? Oh. Okay, also true. Men are a lot more accepted during the aging process than women are and treated a lot more kindly about it. So, okay, all right. Everything on your face stays in its original color. Does that mean you don't wear makeup? Is that what you mean? That's a really, really weird way of phrasing it. The same hairstyle lasts for years, maybe decades. That one's actually not true. You just didn't know that. Same hairstyle for men definitely doesn't work for decades. Okay. You only have to shave your face and neck. Okay. You can play with toys all your life. Have you seen how many stuffed animals I own? 1 wallet and 1 pair of shoes, 1 color for all seasons. You can wear shorts no matter how your legs look. You better believe I am too. You can do your nails with a pocket knife. You have freedom of choice concerning growing a mustache. So far, it is actually only a commentary on all of the issues with society and inequalities between expectations for men and women. Because you know what? in a sense, they're not wrong. These are things that are expectations that have been pushed forward by society. However, that isn't what they're getting at with this post, and I know that. Because they're right that these are things that men don't usually have to worry about, but are imposed on women that we do. That is not the commentary that this is, though. It's only page 2. You can do Christmas shopping for 25 relatives on December 24th in 25 minutes. I would like to actually see that happen for any person. I would like to actually see you, because you're not ordering them, right? Because if this is December 4th and they're for Christmas, you're not ordering them. I want to see you walk out to any store on December 24th and be able to be done shopping for 25 people in 25 minutes. Even if you bought everything in one store. No one can do that. That's the only one I have a problem with so far. No wonder men are happier. Okay. Okay. Nickname. If Laura, Kate, and Sarah go out for lunch, they will call each other Laura, Kate, and Sarah. If Mike, Dave, and John go out, they will affectionately refer to each other as Fat Boy, Bubba, and Wild Man. I was going to say something, but I don't want to. I don't want to say anything on that one. I don't think I want those nicknames. I think I'd rather just, and yeah, no, I don't think I'd want to be any of the people in that friend group. Eating out, when the bill arrives, Mike, Dave, and John will each throw $20, even though it's only for $32.50. None of them will have anything smaller, and none will actually admit they want change back. When the girls get their bill, out come the pocket calculators. You know, I don't think any stereotypes are fair, just in general, usually. But I will say, in my experience going out with men and women, more often than not, at least for me, it was usually the guys who pull their calculators out. And honestly, I don't think there's any problem with splitting up a bill just by putting in the total and splitting it 4 ways. I think that's really easy. But also, this definitely is not true. That's not really how. Okay, money. A man will pay $2 for a $1 item he needs. A woman will pay $1 for a $2 item that she doesn't need, but it's on sale. Bathrooms. A man has 6 items in his bathroom: toothbrush and toothpaste, shaving cream, razor, bar of soap, and a towel. The average number of items in a typical woman's bathroom is 337. A man would not be able to identify more than 20 of these. Is he stupid? Also, does he not wash his hair? He better not be using that bar of soap for that. That's just bad hygiene. That's just taking poor care of yourself, is what I'm gathering. Arguments. A woman has the last word in any argument. Anything a man says after that is the beginning of a new argument. I think just you and everyone you've ever interacted with has communication problems, because just too many people in general have communication problems. That's just a people thing. That's just a thing that happens with people, generally. Future. A woman worries about the future until she gets a husband. Nothing has shocked me too much yet, because you could argue all of the beginning of this was just a commentary on the problems that we have in society. A woman worries about the future until she gets a husband. A man never worries about the future until he gets a wife. It's going downhill fast, people. We're still only on page 3. Marriage. A woman marries a man expecting he will change, but he doesn't. A man marries a woman expecting that she won't change, but she does. In general, as just people, we do need to stop marrying people that we expect will change. If you want to fix them, do it first, then marry them. Just as a society, we need to stop marrying people we think we can fix later. Take your time fixing them, marry them later. That's always up as an option. However, a woman worries about the future until she gets a husband. Dressing up. A woman will dress up to go shopping, water the plants, empty the trash, answer the phone, read a book, and get the mail. A man will dress up for weddings and funerals. I get the joke with that one, but it's not funny. And it isn't true. Not a single person ever in the history of ever has done that. It's just not a thing that's ever happened. So you're making a joke about something, an exaggeration of a stereotype that isn't even something that's ever happened. Natural. Men wake up as good looking as they went to bed. Women somehow deteriorate during the night. People think this is funny. There are people that think this is just funny. Like, haha, straight people jokes. If this was an entire commentary on a certain type of men thinking this, and that's the point, you did a good job. You made your point very strongly, but I don't think that's it. I really don't think that's it. We haven't gotten to the end of the 4th page yet, and I think that's where the moral of what this person's trying to make is. And it is not a commentary on how these are all bad things, and all based on stereotypes that aren't true and how ridiculous they are. That there's people out there that think that way. There are people that think this way. Offspring. Children. A woman knows all about her children. She knows about dentist appointments and romances, best friends, favorite foods, secret fears, and hopes and dreams. A man is vaguely aware of some sort of people living in the house. I love when in these jokes and like funny little posts to put on Facebook, I love when you tell on yourself. I love when they tell on themselves. You're a bad dad, okay. You're a bad father, you're cool. Thought for the day, a married man should forget his mistakes. There's no use in 2 people remembering the same thing. So send this to the women who have a sense of humor and to the men who will enjoy reading. You know what I think is the funniest part about this whole thing? It opened with the statement, this is fun to read no matter your gender. And while ultimately that did not end up being true at all, they also just forgot that gay people exist. They just forgot entirely that gay people exist. Gay women and gay men. But, okay, keep telling on yourselves that you're bad parents. Well, that was actually posted on Facebook, and 69 neighbors reacted to it. Now that's funny. Somebody wrote in the comments, and this is what I thought too. Started as a critique of how male-centered society is and how women have to deal with harsher beauty standards, then it turned into a list of boomer wisdom. That's exactly what it was. They started out not wrong, really. But that's what's the problem, is that they weren't wrong. You know what I mean? Rossetti's in the house. Yeah, just say you hate women. Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Thank you guys all for hanging out today. This was fun. I love reading Reddit threads, even if they devolve into just that. KYR Scarlet Louise, thank you for the Prime. Prince LPJ, thank you for gifting a sub. A Handsome Monkey, thank you for subscribing. Asleep Hobo, thank you for subscribing. Pluvio, thank you for subbing. Prince LPJ, thank you for gifting another sub. Alexa Ramon, thank you for subscribing. And that's everyone. And we almost hit our goal for the 30 days for the mods merch. So that's sick. Thank you guys so much. There's still 19 days to go. So that's sick. So many people have gifted subs this month. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who subscribed. But don't feel bad if you are not able to subscribe. That's totally okay. I'm really happy to have had you here. Please drop me a follow, though. It's free. And maybe subscribe to me on YouTube. All my channels. Because we do lots of fun things all over them. I do, I upload my VODs if you missed them. So that when they disappear forever on Twitch, there's still a place for all the best, my favorite ones. Because not all of them are on my VOD channel, but a lot of them are. And I have a second channel where I'm going to be editing all my readings of Am I the Assholes that I am still working on. I think I'm going to skip the early ones when I changed my hair and skipped to the later ones, but we're going to upload all the Reddit readings, thread readings, photo reactions from Reddit on my second channel, and tons of gaming and Minecraft on my main channel, Shubble. And we're almost 2 million on Shubble. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. And thanks for reading MID assholes. I'm gonna have you guys rate Jack Manifold. He's playing a scary game that I've never seen the gameplay of. And I'm curious. And I actually really like watching Jack play scary games. I was watching him play fan-made FNAF games one day, and it was really fun. So go be the absolute nicest people in his chat. If you don't know the rules, ask his mods. Don't break them by accident. And go in there bringing your good vibes. And thank you for bringing your vibes here today. This was fun. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging. And happy Pride. I'll see you guys all Sunday, because I don't stream on Saturdays. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.